Hello gamers, how we doing? Welcome back. We're going to be heading on the way in towards our second best of 3 of the day, and we've just come off the back of maybe arguably an upset in the sense that we came in towards our previous games thinking, pretty highly of Thailand under the NKT banner, a bit of a titan of an organization, at least within the Asian region, and they just could not compete. 13-8 map number 1 on Inferno, and on their own pick, Thailand lose 13-4. So Vietnam 2-0 that one, but now we head in towards the next game. Vietnam taking on the likes of Malaysia. Malaysia have just come off the back of a dominant 2-0, 13-13-2 against Brunei.
Yeah, that's good. That should be the beginning of a really good best of 3, right? You get into it, and both teams have had a good start to the day. They're both feeling pretty confident. I'm excited about that. So I don't have any real strong opinions about who's going to win or not, but I look forward to this game. I think, we're learning something. Vietnam, like you said, a little bit of a surprise to us at the start of the day. Maybe Malaysia could be the other one, or maybe it's going to be a really close series, because the first best of 3 on both sides there didn't even get to see a third map. So, hopefully we will now.
This might be the one. Let's take a look at that Malaysia roster coming in towards this series. Of course, a region which is still got a very good appetite for Counter-Strike. It's good to see, obviously within Asia, generally speaking, Valorant has been a little bit more of a popular FPS over there. It's good to see that, especially in Malaysia in particular, we'll see a little bit more of that Counter-Strike action. And honestly, this is a side who maybe can bring a little bit of damage. I know Enable has been around for a little bit of time. He's somebody that I've actually caught in the past. Gracious as well as another name that I've heard of. I think maybe I must have cast him at some point in the far kind of past, so to say. But I'm interested to see what this Malaysian side can bring. There's a lot of decent players who have come from this region. You got individuals like Kaze, for example, of course, a bit of a legend these days, were on Tyloo for years. Now he's just rejoined Rare Atom, so still at that top level. But they've had some decent players over the few years. So I'm hoping maybe we can see next generation.
Yeah, that would be the real dream, right? Like to catch like an up and coming star that we just hadn't expected. So I'm with you though. I think Malaysia has a long history with the game. It's fun to see that it's still being played out there, and yeah, again, we were just talking about this when the cameras were off, but we need to go to more of these countries. Like it'd be so cool. If I got a chance to go to a LAN in Malaysia, or we just talked about Brunei as well. It's a much smaller country, obviously, but like if I got to go some of these places, I would in a heartbeat. I'd go. That's just too much fun. Too much interesting stuff happening. So yeah, maybe that's something that could happen. Maybe Esports will take us there one day. But yeah, the Malaysian lineup looking good. Again, Chow, Sai, Enable, Bubble Sacks, and Gracious. So yeah, some decent names once again we can work with.
Yeah, we can work with them as well. Let's take a look at Vietnam. We've just come off the back of watching these guys in a pretty simple fashion take a 2-0, and honestly, there was, for lack of a better term, quite a lot of talent on this team. I mean, they really did look very, very solid. They came into it with at least the right way to approach this sort of game when you're maybe coming as a little bit more unknown quantity. You don't have maybe the prep or the counter-strategy or all the rest. I mean, maybe even kind of the deeper map pool, and so to say. They came in and they looked very, very good. And I think the best thing about this is we're now starting to see just how good and how deep the region actually goes. I mean, Thailand, who are maybe, at least for us, a little bit more name value-wise, should have been expected to do well. The fact that they get battered like this opens up this competition a lot. I'm looking to see whether maybe, Malaysia was the other team that I highlighted, but Vietnam, they could be the real sleeper team in the region.
Yeah, maybe they are going to surprise everybody. Yeah, they definitely have I think they have the lineup for it at the moment. So a couple of different players that we saw playing very, very well. I think, I mean, the way that they won that first one, especially on the second map of Ancient, it makes you think, okay, maybe they've got some real work to do here. But I'm going to reserve too much of a judgment because I want to see how Malaysia plays as well. So I'm not going to get too carried away. It's obviously very, very hard to know. We have limited experience with the teams, but yeah. Then Thailand still could make a comeback. I guess we'll see if they're going to be able to summon a little bit more strength later on. It might have been a surprising start to them for the day here. But yeah, shout out to you guys in the Twitch chat as well if you're hanging out there. And having a good time. I noticed some people are tuning in from all the way from Canada. I think it's early in the morning still. So some good dedication. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I love to see it. You love to see it. Of course, we've got some pretty good Counter-Strike, especially because, we're kind of in player break territory right now as well. It's good to have at least something to do for us. We're all Counter-Strike nerds. This is the game we know and love. We want to be kind of watching and playing as much as possible. I mean, there's been, of course, the new update. I mean, we'll get into the game itself in a second, and we'll kind of touch on it. We'll touch on the Veto as well in a moment before I come back to my original point. When you come in towards this, and you look at this Veto, there's a couple of different ways you could go about it. Vietnam had a very, very good Inferno. Despite the scoreline may have looked a little bit closer than maybe Ancient, it was actually very solid, their Inferno, especially that CT side. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that get picked into again for Vietnam. Just maybe it's a little bit more of a comfort for them. But our first bans are Nuke and Dust.
I mean, I honestly think it's interesting that they're not just straight banning Vertigo to begin with. I feel like that's been the MO for a while. So nobody's really doing that at the moment. But still, yeah, we got rid of Nuke once again. Dust 2. I would have expected in the region that Dust 2 would have been played a lot more, just again because
I love it there, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but maybe that's why it's being banned. Maybe everyone is a little bit nervous of leaving it in the pool just in case someone else is going to be running wild on it. So they're leaving it for now. Comes down to the picks now to see. It's going to be Vietnam peeking straight into Inferno, which, given what we saw, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, why not?
Understanding, and it leaves open about where do Malaysia want to go here. A couple of different options they could go for. Do you risk it on a little bit more of an open pick? I mean, we obviously saw Ancient get picked into against Vietnam in that previous series, and we know how that went for Thailand. Do you want to go for the same sort of risk? Because Vietnam looked very, very good on it. I don't know if you want to keep that one open. Thailand kind of learned the lesson. I don't know whether Malaysia would have had much time to look into potentially what the Veto was looking like and how that game had gone. They had a quick one in all fairness, but we'll have to see maybe where they pick into. They could as well look into as the likes of potentially Anubis, which was on the cider in that map number 3. It didn't end up being played, of course, because of that 2-0.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Wait and see where they go. They are going to go for the Ancient pick. I do think that's pretty risky. That's pretty risky. I mean, Thailand did the same thing and lost 13-4 on it.
Yeah, that's... I guess maybe Malaysia... They must have surely seen the results from that map before they went into the Veto here, but maybe they just didn't have time, or maybe they just didn't care. They thought, all right, well, we're still going to be pretty good on it. But from what we saw to Vietnam, that could be a risky pick coming out from the Malaysian side. They're going to be banning out Vertigo. There it goes. It's gone once again. So sad day for all for the few Vertigo lovers that are out there, but yeah, not going to be able to see that map played ever again.
I think that's probably going to be the case. I don't expect to see it too much picked in the region. I don't remember it being that big of a regional favorite. But the thing you mentioned earlier, Dust 2 really was. It was a map which was loved within kind of just in general the Asian region. We are actually going to get that Anubis decider again. I don't know if we're going to be able to play it. I mean, last time we sort of expected it maybe to be a potential and never came to fruition. So we'll have to wait and see. But all in all, the exact same Veto, funnily enough, is what we're towards that first series. The picking towards Ancient is probably the big thing for me when I look at it. I just think, Thailand didn't work out well. And, honestly, Vietnam looks very good on Ancient. So it is inherently a bit of a risk here for me. But I think a lot of this is going to come down to just the raw individuals. Malaysia, they had a very, very simple first series, 13-1, 13-2. They're probably just full of confidence.
Well, yeah, they've got to be right. Yeah, it was like they even warped up into the game. They got better throughout. So why not keep it going? Why not finish the day strong? You got 2 best of 3s. You just kind of, you knock them both out. We got a little bit of update in the chat. Apparently, Sai is pronounced she. So we might see if we can remember that. We appreciate any help we can get with if we're screwing up some of the pronunciations on the local language stuff. That can always happen. But yeah, I don't know. Again, don't really have any real complaint to the map pool. Yeah, I just it's curious to see them playing the same maps, but it could also mean that we're going to get like a higher level of Counter-Strike because they are already a little bit drilled into these maps. So that could be that looking forward to.
It's true. We'll have to wait and see. I'm very interested though when I look at this and then kind of see maybe what we get out from this Vietnam side again, right? Because if Malaysia was so confidently winning in that previous matchup, Vietnam maybe potentially coming again as a bit of an underdog in quotation marks. I'll take a look and see. But we're live, ladies and gents, and here we go. We are on Inferno. Things went very well for Vietnam. First time out. Question being, can they do it again? And a couple of dinks have already come through as well, which isn't too shabby.
Yeah, wasting no time. You're getting into the action. We appreciate that. Oh, and they've updated their names too. I appreciate that so much on the Vietnamese side. It's able to start us off. We'll take down KG, and it looks like they're going to keep on going here. Sneaking forward. There's really nobody on the T side over on the side. It's all going to be the A-bomb side, where only 2 people are defending. Chow back here. Oh, they jump down. It's so hard to get those shots, but he's good for the one. He keeps it going. What a magnificent triple that is. That is so hard to do. They're airborne, they're jumping down, and he's got the USP, so he can't even waste a lot of bullets. That is one hell of a round coming out from Chow.
Ah, man, what a start for Malaysia. I mean, talk about a way to lay down the gauntlet, so to say. That is pretty damn good. Only a couple of kills coming through for Vietnam is, not good enough. Not good enough at all. I mean, in all fairness, KG did a very good amount of damage, right? I mean, 146 ADR in the round, but just no kills. So, a couple of dinks. Unfortunately, not good enough. We have lost KJ, sadly. So, a little bit of attack pulls before we get back on the way. But this is going to be the time to open up this question that I was going to ask in the pre-show, but I guess I can ask now. What are your thoughts? I don't know if you had any time to have a look at the new maps. Of course, we've got Mills and Thera that have come in towards the, not competitor, but they're coming towards the map pool. Any time to have a look at them? Any thoughts?
Not so much with the first one, but with Thera, I did. I actually spent like a couple of hours running around on the map with FM Pone at one point. So damn. I quite like that map. I think it's pretty cool. It's like a very, very different kind of Counter-Strike map. That's, I think, one of the reasons why I like it. I think it's, from my point of view, it's challenging a lot of the normal kind of 3-lane setup of, like, the Dust 2s and the Ancients and stuff. Like it's messing around with a bunch of core ideas in Counter-Strike maps. So I think people should give it a chance. I think it's kind of a cool map. I could see it working out competitively too. So yeah, I'm all for it. I actually might do a video at some point trying to talk about it and sort of trying to just give my thoughts on it, because I could see it also being a map that people just kind of instinctively end up being quite aggressive towards. People like, this isn't the map that I'm used to, That happens sometimes with the community. People kind of don't like changes, but I think people should give it a chance. Yeah,
I feel you. Well, for me, when I started playing Counter-Strike, it was around 2016. The first operation I had was 2017. I can't remember exactly what it was called now off the top of my head. Maybe Wildfire? I can't remember which one it was, but that was the one where Santorini came in, and it very, very quickly became basically my favorite map of all time. I absolutely loved Santorini back then. If you go on my Twitter as well, for a long time have kind of been pushing the Santorini hype train for years now, and when I heard the rumors that it was coming back in, I was pretty happy, because it's been a great map of mine. I love FM Pone's work as well. I've got tweets from like 2021 saying like, basically like, God, I miss Santorini. So 2021, 2022, I miss Santorini, bring it back in CSGO, and I add FM Pone, the GOAT, the real GOAT. And I'm glad to see it back in the pool. I played a little bit last night as well. It's still as good as ever.
That's sick. All right, well, all good things come to those who wait and all that stuff. So it's back. Here we are. It's KG. Oh, and he's going to get flashed and killed. That was a great combination. Gracious able to pick that one up, and it's a 4 versus 5 to begin with. They did invest a little bit into this round, Vietnam, but unable to do anything with it so far.
It's quiet. Calls for a little bit of a pump of the brakes.
Yeah, nobody's moving around. For Vietnam, I mean, I was going to say they were the kind of team that themselves were quite aggressive on the CT side. So maybe they're waiting to see if there's going to be some action. It's Prodigy to take down and able to begin with. The Deagle doing some work. HE around. Oh, he almost got blocked by the HE, but fair enough. They get the kills anyway.
Running and gunning there with the MP9. Nice and easy for Chow. And I think now probably should be the beginning of the end here. I say that though, not a bad shot for the Deagle. It does at least force a little bit of a retreat to a degree on the CT side, but it's only for a brief moment. Nice and easy. And that'll be Malaysia putting a 2-0 start. If Malaysia take Vietnam's map pick of Inferno, it once again does change the conversation that, there maybe is that real hierarchy about it. I mean, We'll see. But, I mean, the way I look at it, 2-0 start in this sort of confident fashion. It's this first gun round, really, that's going to mean the most for us. I mean, for Vietnam, we have to see them, when they get in towards the AK-47s, set the tone again. Their T-side wasn't as good as their CT in the first areas of the day. So it could be a good indicator. If we see that T-side get going for Vietnam when the guns come out, it might be a sign of things to come.
Yeah, definitely. The Deagle in that last round was doing real damage, but unfortunately, they can't easily capitalize on that right now because they still haven't really got the bomb planted, so they don't have the money to keep up the fight. Deep control at the bottom of Banana there, so the T's are kind of being pushed this way, getting spotted out right away. I've got to say, so far, just on some of the micro engagements we've had here, it looks to me like the Malaysian side are really dialed in. Like, they seem to be playing some pretty tight Counter-Strike at the moment. Just if I had to judge only on the first 3 rounds, I would say Malaysia looked like the more experienced team at the moment. Well, we'll see how it goes, but just feels that way right now.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I always just keep an eye open when I see Malaysian players or teams. It's a region that just do love their Counter-Strike. I just think don't get maybe as many opportunities to play on that international stage, but you're spot on. They look crisp. You know, seeing Chow aim 1. He's really having a bit of a field day. 265 ADR over the first 3 rounds is not too bad a tally. First gun round though, AK's out and a great start. Really easy double coming through, but a quick response. Prodigy will answer back in kind. Vietnam pulling no punches on their first gun round.
Wow, that is a lot of speed and power behind that one. Prodigy, if you would have slowed it down a little bit more and maybe got the rifle out before he turned the corner, probably could have had that one as well. But the bomb is going to get planted, and the retake here for Chow and for Bubble Zax, I don't know. It's doable, but my God, you need a strong start. And you need to get rid of this mid presence here. It's a nice position for KG to be in. And with different smoke going down here, I don't know what you could possibly do. They've got one flashbang, not even getting through the smoke. That's a nice setup and a nice follow-up there. So, wow, all right. They just needed rifles, and they're going to be good to go.
Not bad. That's a very, very quick one. Put it on the board. I mean, just the pace at which Vietnam brought in towards that round showcases just how good they are. So, a lot to like. Still early doors, but at the very least, going to settle the nerves a little bit for Vietnam, who maybe didn't start as strong, I think, as they probably would have hoped to. That'll at least change up the conversation, change up the narrative a tad. Decent work. Good stuff. And now we can look at this on the other side and say, is there a chance maybe to see Vietnam really flex their muscles a little bit? The buy isn't exactly fully fleshed out towards Malaysia either. Double MP9 elements we brought to the table isn't exactly a dream. So it's feasible, it's workable, but it's not the best. Lose this round here, Malaysia probably lose the lead. It will allow Vietnam that kind of 2-for-1 special and to tie this game up.
Oh, some great work coming out of the beginning. The AK is just doing so much. That should be the round, right? They might take some time to get to the A-bomb side with the bomb, but I don't think it matters. She and Gracious just might as well just, you know, try and save what you can on the other side. My God. And that's some of those fights are won by just waiting around and waiting for Malaysia to kind of walk into the crossfire. So yeah, you're not even doing that much work.
Just kind of expecting them to get aggro, and they do. Simply put, what can you say? Really, nice and easy. It'll be Vietnam putting up their second on the board, but like I said, I mean, the big thing here is the kind of ramifications looking long term. You know, no real money to work with for Malaysia. We're talking about them having to go into a bit of an eco. We're talking about Vietnam being able to tie this game up, or at least on the cusp of it. I see Fight Gracious will fall, and the last one left is that 1-4, which they would hope to keep alive, which they do. Nice double. Even still, though, is still being hunted and making this very expensive. Will fall in the end. 3 kills is a nice little silver lining, but honestly, I think you'd rather have no kills in the gun than 3 kills and none. So it will be a second for Vietnam, and a good chance now to tie it up because Malaysia just do not have the funds.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's so worth it. It's expensive hunting down that last M4, but it's better to have it gone from the round than having the CTs have it in this one. Remember, it was the T side that Vietnam were kind of going to say struggling, but they were doing worse on when they were playing the first game against Thailand. So if they're already going to be doing really well here, and we know that they're probably going to be pretty good on the CT side, that could be a real bad omen here for the Malaysian side. Good trade in the middle, though. It's Chow again with the Deagle. But, yeah, down a man and with no real weapons here.
Full blind. Yeah, it's pretty damn lucky to get that kill, but you take it all the same. 2 versus 4, though. This round was already basically a non-starter. We'll see.
Yeah.
One towards back B. One rotating over via CT. Might be a little bit too late in all fairness, so Charlie got to do kind of everything here.
Yeah, Deagle in the back. Shot missed, and every single shot you miss, you're kind of getting a step closer. Oh, right through the smoke. Fair enough. It's different taking down Enable. Don't think it would have made a difference even if you hadn't, but that was good timing. And there's the time that you were talking about. 3-3 and moving into round number 7. And even now, the buys, not that great. We've got some M4s, got them MP9s out there, but they're lacking a lot on that CT side. So, wow, what a return for Vietnam. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and you know, the most important thing is it's return of the gun rounds, right? I mean, that's what we look at this and say, that for us is the real, I guess, priority more than anything. It's all well and good the Malaysia around the pistol, the force buy, and the rest, but in the head-to-head gun rounds, we're actually kind of one team in it right now. Chop, up close. And a very good start. He's still not doing too bad on 10-4, but he needs a couple more of his teammates to support him. Made up close and towards Banana. Doesn't really get anything, so we'll fall back further away. But you're spot on it, right? Even though Malaysia have just gone for maybe a little bit of a lesser investment, I kind of would have hoped they had gone for even less of one. Popping out towards the A site. In they come. Sora for the first. KJ one of their own as well. And they're swinging out by a long. I mean, KG finding a double. Nice and easy. And that is going to be Vietnam finding the round. I mean, my God, the pace at which Vietnam plays some of these T-side rounds is beautiful.
Yeah, it's once the action gets rolling, it's pretty swift, and the fighting really doesn't seem to slow down. So, yeah, you know, there's nothing you do. Unfortunately, as much as you'd want to try and do something here, best you could do is hope that there's an exit, save an AK instead of an MP9, and that's probably the best that's going to happen here. Hanging out by the library, 4 in a row for Vietnam. My God. Okay, well, they continue to impress. We'll see if they're going to be able to keep this up for the rest of the half. But I've got to say already, with this kind of a lead, I mean, they've already done enough, I think, in the first half here to make it a good start for them. 4-3.
Sure.
Even if Malaysia make a bit of a comeback towards the rest of the half here, it's still going to be a competitive game.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Exactly. At least we're getting, you know, a real good showcase on both of them. But Vietnam, this is a good streak. 4 in a row, showcasing just how strong this side actually can be. I like what I'm seeing. Relatively convincing. And of course, Malaysia, for them, unfortunately, back into a lesser investment. We're talking a Mag 7, which I don't hate in all fairness, but a Mag 7 towards half wall and Banana. And a nice shot with Deagle. Might just open up a couple of conversations. Decent first. Sora clipped.
Yeah, all right. Well, see if they could do a little bit more. They got 1 kill here, but it did cost them a fair bit of health. They've resorted to a Mag 7 as well. It's a rare sight, but we'll take it. At this range, at the half wall towards Banana, you could do some real damage with it. She on the other side, too, just going to be drawing their attention away. Try and fire that Deagle at least once. Oh, but the flash is so good. There's only 1 player left at the B bomb side, but they're not going for it. Vietnam, they might have had a chance to just kind of punch through and get the bomb planted, take the fight against the Lonely Deagle, but they're going to be slowing it down. They're expecting maybe more. Oh, look at this weapon management. Throwing some of the guns up onto the rooftop so that Malaysia can't get to them. Again, just signs of some smart Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a really nice kind of just showing at this in terms of, you don't want to give them any opportunity, especially if they go for a flank as well, to pick up anything. However, swing out from into Banana. It's actually a team kill that gets 1. Backpin up player caught as well. Lovely double entry on towards that B site. Bomb will go down. And they are rotating in. It's going to be a tough one in all fairness. This retake with a Deagle, 19 points of HP and a CZ. The old IKEA builder gun here, hoping to do something. Not often you see the CZ too much success anymore. Time ticking. Now it's all down to one man. With that, CZ, I don't think it's going to happen here. This is going to be Vietnam putting their 5th up on the board. These gun rounds, Anders, again, very, very good. This one a little bit closer, fair enough, but all in all, rounds around, and on T side especially is good, because I'm just going to say it again, their CT side last series was actually where Vietnam did their best work.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, that could have been a really scary round, but they lived through it. Now they're up to 5. I do like that IKEA gun. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that, but that's not bad. Why not? Hating on the Swedes. I mean, we're quite far away in terms of, what we're playing here, so why not?
I do also hate on the gun a lot as well, I have to say. I hate the CZ, especially considering how good the 5.7 is. For me, the 5.7 is overpowered in my eyes. It's so broken. One-shot headshot against head armor at close range is kind of insane. So to go for a CZ, in my mind, doesn't make any sense. So that's kind of the reason I hate on it, just because I think there's better options.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but there is like a psychological aspect as well. Like, I get so tilted when people kill me with a CZ. It just feels annoying and like, come on, like, just use a real pistol. But yeah, anyway, 5-3 the scoreline here. You can see the money is building quite rapidly on the Vietnamese side. Oh, the timing here for Chow, that's so rough. He could have been dead already. They really want to hunt him down, and they will. Sora able to pick up that kill. All right, that took a lot, but they'll get Enable as well. Again, the aggression kind of keeps on going. You'd see they're flashing their way through. That's a great flashbang, but Sora still dies somehow. The setup for it was nice, and now they're going to go into the B-bomb side, but absolutely nobody's defending here. Prodigy staying alive, just making life even harder on them. They're so aggressive there on the Vietnamese side. This is really sick.
Swing coming through, maybe a little over-aggressive there. Gracious gets a freebie, but yeah, stuck between 2 different angles and didn't know where to look. Vietnam loving life right now. Inferno, again, a really good map for them in their pool. I got to give them credit. I mean, I always think it's, at least in my mind, I always look at map picks, which are like kind of your go-to picks, where you look at Infernos and Mirages, and I always think of it as a little bit inherently risky. It's a map which everybody knows, everybody loves, and I think because of that, yeah, it's a weird one, right? I look at it and just say, I think you kind of can be a little bit of a risky position, just so teams, everybody plays in your FPLs and all the rest. Max 7, again, up close. Another Deagle opener in all fairness, and it's Sora again, the one to be caught. Uh-oh.
Oh, no! It's a jumping shot as well. Gracious, getting work done with the Mag 7. 2 heads exploded at the top of Banana. Oh, that second shot, I love to see that one. That's unexpected. It's the kind of round that Malaysia need right now to get back into the swing of things, although Prodigy is he's heard the running away. He knows that someone's walked away from this position, so he might get a free kill on one player. Oh, the timing eludes him, and he panics a little bit. All right, that would have been fun to see, but either way, there should be finally a round for Malaysia. It's been a minute.
I think so. It'd be a tough one to lose this. It feels basically unlosable too, and I think he's about to die as well over towards B in just a second. Swing, and yeah, nice little trade. So nice and easy. Malaysia will get their 4th. It's been a long time coming though. It was 6 rounds in a row out from Vietnam, so it really did require, it's been a while is what we're trying to say, and it needs to be at least a little bit better at the tail end of this half. This can't be a flash in the pan is the main thing. They can't look at this and just be, okay, we've got this one round, we can see off an 8-4. It has to be considerably better. That has to be a bit of a catalyst to further success.
Yeah, nice little replay there. You saw the Max 7, but you're right. Like, I think I could get up to 6 rounds here at the end, like win a couple of rounds. Even just mentally, like the difference between just losing everything and getting back into it is kind of nice. Oh, and look at this. Aggression from the CT side, and the T's running back into the flames to try and help each other out. But it was too late. Now they've stolen an AK and almost escaping, but not quite. And you know what? That's a huge kill there. That could make a difference.
Sora. Been getting caught early doors into rounds by the hands of the Deagle, so hoping can kind of change face a little bit in this one. Going back towards B tentatively, but they have the bomb on the back, so at the very least they're making a bit of a move in that direction. Jacob being in the corner. She doesn't really need to commit though. Smoke comes down, forces them away. It's the perfect way to play. Don't overface, don't overcommit. Use a util right and kind of essentially force Vietnam to reconsider.
Yeah. Still decent setup here for the CTs. Smoke going down in about 40 seconds. That's devastating. That means there's going to be no time at all left once it fades. She on one side here, and I think it's Bubble Sacks a little bit further back, even with a flashbang to set up for something. So they have everything they need right now to defend this with. The only thing is the rotations, I guess, a little bit further away. So that could be the deciding difference here. Oh, and now they're not going to know about it. They're both on this side. I thought they were going to be peeking. This is potentially a little bit scary now for the CTs. Again, nobody's moving out of the A-bomb side yet. So that opening might be everything. A great 2-for-1 trade. You'll take that.
Yeah, bomb goes down as well. Not bad. Two swing in the corner, and a missed shot by Prodigy makes this a possibility now. More Malaysia on the retake. Needing a flash on the corner. Different. He's kind of got the right idea, though. He's playing further back. He will take the first. Looks for the second. Be able to do so. Chow at least crosses. Flash comes over. Molotov comes down, which isn't bad. Time is ticking. Different. Might be forced into a fight here. Chow just looks dead on in towards the flash. Tap on towards the bomb. He's now sticking. He's trying to bait him in, and Different has played that to perfection, toying with his food. And Vietnam going to find a much needed round for them.
Wow, that was there was a real possibility there for Malaysia to win that round for sure, like 4 versus 3. But I think the problem was, especially the B bomb site, when they play so passively, there's no time for the A defense to rotate. So you end up with that 2-for-1 trade, and then suddenly you're in a 2 versus 2, and the bomb is planted, and it's going to be a rough time. So 7-4, my God. We're moving into round number 12, the last of the half, and Vietnam have done great work already. If we can trust the results from earlier, they were even better on the CT side when they were playing Thailand. So this is pretty good stuff.
Vietnam, for them, it's massive. See this success once again. Another round of the half. If Malaysia can get a 5th, honestly, it's workable. If they don't, however, that's where I do worry. We'll see. They got decent weaponry to work with. Decent positions too as well. We got 2 out via both sides and 1 in kind of intermediate rotating. But it's KJ for that first. Molotov will meet him at his feet, but at the very least, getting an opening kill like that is going to give them a lot to work with.
Oh, yeah. Put some pressure on the CTs. Normally, you would actually see the CT side, I think, try to get a little bit of a... Oh, my God, that's a touchdown grenade. That's such a casual throw in there. Sora's ready for this one, too. Everything's worked. He's just got to kill him hit now towards the arch position. Yeah, and now the CTs are flashing their way into some aggression, but it's too late here. Wow, Vietnam looking to take 8 rounds, unless there's a real surprise here, but there shouldn't be. Yeah, everything has been known. That is a good cleanup. 8-4 at the end of the first half for the Vietnamese side. That's pretty overwhelming.
Man, it's a one-sided showing, isn't it? I mean, Vietnam.
Yeah.
Got to give them credit. They really have just been showcasing just how good they actually can play Counter-Strike. And the big worry for me is that there was moments from Malaysia, but in the large majority of those gun rounds, there was just not a lot on offer. Not enough on offer. So yeah, I'm a bit concerned. A pistol round is the big thing. At an 8-4, you get a pistol, you get the force. We're talking about the game being 8-6. Then it becomes doable. You lose the pistol here, and I think it's probably safe to say game over already. I mean, unless Malaysia get a bomb plant, they won't really be able to force buy too well. And we're talking about Vietnam potentially getting all the way up to a 10-4 scoreline. At that point, it feels done.
Yeah, I agree. Like, this pistol round is everything to them at the moment. No question about it. A bit of a 2-3 split in the setup here with Different and KJ hanging around the B-bomb side.
See.
Oh, and again, they don't have a lot of information about what's coming, but we'll see if they can manage. Just a couple of kills here will make the difference. There's one good headshot, but he does get overwhelmed, so bomb should at least be planted.
Yeah, and Different now has to kind of fall back further away. He can't afford to essentially fight in support of his teammate out via Nubox. It's a bit of a tough one. This retake, not easy. I mean, look at it as well towards the CT side. Difference already tied. I mean, they got a bit of armor. They got a kit as well on the back of Sora, but it's not going to be an easy one. They actually shift through the smoke, and they'll find an opening to a double kill. Kind of ridiculous. Gracious still alive, though, as he gets a quad clutch needed from him. Spamming through that smoke. He's going to try and dive through it as well, but they've got a kit, and they've got the kill. Vietnam, another round, and they are, at the moment, just honestly, undefeatable.
How devastating. You actually get the bomb planted, you trade into the bomb site, and everything is fine. You're in a 4 versus 4, and you just can't hold on to the site. That's one of the more winnable rounds here for Malaysia, but unable to close it out. And now Vietnam with a round win to start the second half with. They're going to have rifles way earlier. And Malaysia not even investing that much into it, which is a bit surprising. I thought, you get the bomb planted. Normally, that's what we see nowadays, but
True.
They are a little bit hesitant.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I normally always like to force around a bomb plant, but in this instance, the one thing I guess for them is they don't have many chances. Tech9 with that first is good. M4 picked up. Just going to hightail out of there. Don't really blame them. MB9 doesn't want to stick around for the fight. Pot flash from different could be a banger. It actually does decent work to blind them up, but it's not enough. He's just purely overwhelmed. Bomb will go down, and this is a good chance for Malaysia.
Yes, it is. Although we say that, but Vietnam getting a couple of really, really quick kills. And just as we mentioned it, Enable's going to be going down as well. So from like a 4 versus 3 into now a 1 versus 3, as they'll find Shi at the end, and we'll be able to pick up the defuse as well. So it just feels like even when Malaysia have good chances or in positions that look winnable, it almost doesn't matter. Like, they just can't hold on to it.
Yeah. It's tough. It's really, really tough, isn't it? You hate to see it. What we've seen thus far has been a really simple showing of just dominance out from Vietnam and their map pick, setting the tone well. And the fact that Ancient comes up next is actually the main thing that worries me. I look at it and with what happened in the Thailand game, I can't really quite forget that one. So let's see if there's anything left in the locker. Malaysia back into a bye. Potentially one of their last as well in this map. So it's getting already to the point of do or die, now or never. All of those anecdotes we like to use. Simply put, Vietnam dominant thus far. And KJ, I don't want to test it. He's sticking out of the flames. KJ, mate, you don't need to be in the flames, fella. He wasn't forced into it. He tries to peek behind it and kind of dies for no reason.
Yeah, not the start that he was looking for to the round for sure. Oh, they're executing into the bomb site. This is pretty promising at the moment. They'll lose Enable on the other side. I mean, Sora is actually on a very, very quick rotation. I wonder if they're going to be quite ready for the HE through the smoke. Does nothing at all, but it's KG on the other side. He's got an AWP up towards the church, so that's kind of hard to do anything with at the moment. With the smokes going up left and right, yeah, you could see he's just kind of locked back here, unable to really participate in the retake for now. And Sora actually stopped rotating through Banana and just decided to go the other way instead. Easy shot there, and I think that might be calling the end of the round here. Malaysia look to be picking up a 5th round. Yeah, they're going to be pulling the plug on this retake. It's not worth it any longer.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I think, a questionable play maybe, but just retaking over towards that B side, especially when you got the util down already, it's not the easiest. So just like that, it will be Malaysia getting finally around that we can sit here and say, okay, there's something to work up. It's still a long old road to recovery. Definitely a weird mistake as well. Just in the flame, I don't really understand what was the play there. It was kind of weird, spamming through, but for no reason, dies to the fire. I think maybe took 1 tag, but even still, took like 70 points damage to a molly without being forced into it. Hate to see it. It's a rookie error, but they still got plenty of rounds in arrears, so they're not exactly feeling too under pressure, at least just yet.
Yeah, there's room for recovery. Give him a chance still. He's being scorched a little bit there with the AWP at the top Banana. Trying to see if he can reposition, not to get flashed, but they did make it back there. Not going to do anything with the Molotov, but yeah, it'll push the AWP a little bit further back. He's still trying to land some shots out there, but I don't think he's connecting yet, so... All right. Don't everyone rotate out of the B-bomb site. They're going to leave one player. All right. Different is going to be just the one anchoring the corner. So, yeah, again, another common type setup of 4-1 split here on the defense. I don't hate it really, but it comes down to the rotation. If they can get some help over the different before it's too late, basically.
Eagle in the corner swing. Fine. KJ falls, but onto back to Neighbor gets dropped and going trade for trade here. Still into the 3 versus 3. Bit of damage being dealt to the AWP over on Vietnam, but still feels like a possibility. A D smoke over towards B. That's looking like with the T side want to finish. Smoke going to come down via CT. Different. Does he play through this? The answer is yes, but I don't think it's a good idea. He might get the timing in all fairness. Oh my God, he might just hit the net. They're holding for him now. He's waiting for his opportunity, and it actually goes all the way back to Banana. This is kind of wild.
Yeah, all right. Let's see if they can do the retake here. 3 versus 3. It's a good start. Bubble Sacks will get the 1 kill, but the rest of them kind of pushed into the bomb side here. There is a way to do this. They do have a kit as well and a smoke on to KG. So if they get 1 good kill, maybe they can smoke the bomb and go for the defuse. I do like that flashbang to slow them down, and I think the pressure is on right now. Vietnam, they might be giving up this round here. It's a good find on the 1 player, but a wide swing comes out. And that bomb is so far ticked already. It's gracious to end the round. And it's Malaysia picking up a little bit here towards the end. It's almost too late for them to make the comeback, but not quite. They're still in the mix.
Well, I mean, yeah, the one thing I look at as well is just, you kind of mentioned it a little bit early into the round. Everybody kind of just falls off B very, very quickly. But in the end, nice work. Malaysia staying alive. He's keeping in the conversation here, which is good because, you know, at one point we were looking at this and saying it was looking like a dominant showing, 10-4. I mean, Vietnam was going to walk all over them on Inferno. Now it's absolutely open. Low buyout here from the CT side, and I don't know, man. It feels like for Vietnam, losing a little bit of control is probably the way I'll put it.
Yeah,
4 rounds
I would say
is
so.
the buffer. It's still fine, but it's just not as clean maybe as it was in that first half.
There's a way in which this can go off the rails now. There's no question about it. Again, Malaysia could have just been a slow start as well, but they're really getting warmed up into this game at the moment here. Almost losing Bubble Sacks, but he is all right. And again, they show some discipline. They slow down. They know there was some aggression at the start of the round. They don't want to be losing any more players at the beginning here. So yeah, keep it cool. And all walking towards the A bomb side, where they should be able to find a fairly easy bomb plant. Just Prodigy in the area with the Deagle. Flashing their way through. He's tucked in here. All right, it's a good shot, but you need probably 1 or 2 more of those to make it around, and that wasn't in the cards for him. So, you know what? It's Malaysia being up to 7 rounds. Interesting. Vietnam kind of taking a bit of a break in this game.
It's true. I mean, you haven't really seen any kind of attack pauses, only ones of a technical nature. So, yeah, I'm with you. Take a pause, have a little conversation, because they are losing a bit of control in this game. I do want to see them take a bit of a breather and say, okay, we're still in the lead. We're not completely under a lot of pressure just yet, but we want to make sure that we see this off. This is our map pick. This is meant to be our best chance on a map which we were very good on earlier. It was 13-8 in our previous series, though, so still sort of on track for that. Will be a buy to come through, I'm assuming, out from Vietnam in towards the next. It might still require a FAMAS for an MP9 in one of the hands if they want true util, and I think Sora is what I'm looking towards there. Maybe Prodigy as well. Or are they actually going to half buy this? Yeah, it looks like they're going to half buy. Couple of the Eagles, MP9, so they're not even going to go for the full buy. I mean, most of them had about 4K, so they could have definitely squeezed it out. But
okay. That's, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that is potentially a little bit bold. They're starting to feel the pressure too, I'm sure, right? It was such a giant lead that they had at the beginning of it, and now all of a sudden it's down to just 3 rounds, potentially 2, because again, this one is not the most impressive one. Prodigy, it's a good headshot. Could he do it again in the middle? They're well aware that there could be a peak coming out. Yeah, they were all waiting for him. So a 4-2 scenario here with, again, I think Malaysia just quite comfortably waiting around. They realize that Vietnam are going to be a bit aggressive, which, to be honest, they were against Thailand as well, especially on the second map. It's if I was the Malaysian squad and I had a chance to watch a little bit of that game before it started, I would have said, all right, they are really aggressive on the CT side. Just wait and see. They're going to show up.
Different. Gets one, but traded. And that'll probably sum things up. If he maybe could have got a couple, there was a chance, but yeah, not to be. Sora's got a kit, though, and an AK. Honestly, I'd just save the AK. I don't even think it's worth giving it a go.
Yeah.
Keep on the AK. It's a nice thing to have in towards the next round. It also could mean maybe a little bit of kind of an improved economic state going forward. There's, you know, small things, but there's no point in my eyes that he's giving to go. I don't think he is as well. He's going for a nice old save in towards Swarm. Simply put, but it's going to be up to 8 now. 2 rounds in it. All right, we're talking, yeah, about something on the cards at the very least. Malaysia, it's taking a while, but they're each coming alive.
Slowly but surely. You're not wrong about that. And 1 AK being saved. Again, they're near the finishing line here, the Vietnamese squad, but if they can't pull it across, then it's not really going to make any difference here. Gracious really waking up. 15 kills on him at the moment, and Chow as well, but he was kind of good from the start with 19. I've got to say, still, Enable is a little bit too far behind, and he was one of the names that we kind of maybe recognized from the start. So, you know, there's still maybe a couple of players that need to be activated in the Malaysian squad to really make this a full comeback. But so far, it's not bad at all.
It isn't. Can't complain. Cannot complain. 10-8 though, 2 rounds in it. This game is still anybody's. We do need to see Vietnam come alive. Honestly, their CT side in that first house where they did their best work. This is a quick round. The pot flash is good. The nade is actually decent as well. And Vietnam are sticking up close. They want to fight. And it's a fight which doesn't actually favor them in the end. Gracious will trade. And she'll get one of her own as well. Damn, that is a tough round. But over fighting above the smoke, Prodigy gets 1.5.
Yeah, don't throw this away now. You've got a bit of an edge still. Bomb is going to be planted on this one side, and there isn't a lot that Prodigy could do about it. Sora is going to be trying to retake from the bottom of Banana. There is, I think, a smoke up still, but once that fades, he has to win the fight right away. Then they can maybe try and collapse on it a little bit. Yeah, there was a chance, but Enable said he didn't have many kills, but that one is a huge one. All right, and they're going to be falling straight away, so Malaysia almost tying up the game. 9-10 going to be the scoreline. This is not the second half I was expecting. I was ready to call it a day and say, all right, that's it. Vietnam, they win Inferno, but Malaysia's had some different opinions.
Yeah, they're looking very clean. There's just no two ways about it. I got to give them a lot of credit, man. This is really, really good. 10-9. Vietnam barely can scratch the surface right now. I think, honestly, the big thing for me is Vietnam, they're trying, at least in my eyes, quite desperately to kind of fight fire with fire. They're trying to play super aggro. They're trying to plug into this, and they're trying to match them in terms of the pace. I honestly think the best way to go about this is actually to slow things down. Is actually to be, okay, you know, if we keep playing aggro against these guys, they're actually going to out-aim us. They're going to be maybe a little bit too aggressive for us. Slow it down. And that's all I want them to see them do, is play the sites. Don't overextend. Don't try and overfight them, because we know they are crisp. I mean, that's a crisp shot in all fairness from Prodigy, but yeah, I don't know. For me, the big thing is Vietnam. I just think they're too reliant on kind of dying on the sword of fighting as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree with that. That looked like it was the weakness, at least for a short minute there on in the last game when they were on Ancient. It's like, yo, they lost, I think, the last 3 or 4 rounds to Thailand on the CT side, and it was partly because they were just so aggressive. What a breakthrough here. Chow with a couple of good kills. They faked the bomb once just to see if anyone's going to be pushing through, but it looks like this round is almost over again. It's so hard to reach the bomb site, and you show up, and there's even another smoke and another couple of Molotovs. I don't think they're ever going to even get through the grenades here.
No, I think you're right. 2 rifles saved. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It's probably the only real thing you can do in this situation, but all in all, look where we are now. My, oh my. What a game we've got on our hands. Roll Tide Square in a very decent showing of just how good the Counter-Strike is over in Malaysia. Kind of hard on the way out. That's one idea, but maybe a little bit more expensive than they would have hoped. in the end. Only saw us surviving, but still, 10-all. We've got a game on our hands here. This is some beautiful Counter-Strike being played. I don't know. Vietnam completely, by my eyes at the race, they've completely fallen apart.
They've disappeared from the game at the worst possible time. We're all tied up. It's 10-10. And good to see. I mean, the money's not out of control for Malaysia. Some of these rounds have cost them a little bit. But the problem is Vietnam are having such a hard time winning anything here in the second half. So I'm surprised. Prodigy's playing well. KG is playing well. But they need more. Some stray shots being fired into the apartments over there. And some flashes being set up. So it looks like the T side at least wants to take a little bit of apartments control before they do anything else. Leaving Gracious at the bottom of Banana just to make sure no CTs are sneaking through. But yeah, this is the round where at least Vietnam they're a little bit slow to start. I like this. They're not just walking into the fights early on here. So I think that's good.
Yeah, no, I agree. Looking. What goes here? Only quiet minute on the clock. No real, at least immediate move here, but they are rapid in the direction of A. It's feeling like the right call. I mean, they can smoke out the long player. They've basically got a free fight in towards Mini. The pop flash is good, but Sora responds in kind. Finally, some success for Vietnam. It's been a long time, maybe a long time coming, but it's been a while. It looks like this might be their first round in a hot minute, unless some heroics come through from Malaysia. Hang on a second. I'm not going to cut them out just yet. Gracious. One. Oh, hang on a second. Gracious is tapped for the second. Surely Vietnam are not going to lose this one.
Those are some really quick back-to-back shots. I thought he almost had a third one in there. Grenade goes right on top, and they get Gracious there. And there's a gap in the smoke as well. Chow on his own, but he's been playing very well. I think they catch him jumping. All right, I don't think they even realized, but that's a good retake. They kind of deserve to win this round because, my God, like they almost lost a 2 versus 4 then. But, you know, fair play. It's Vietnam finally coming up with an 11th round. It took a minute.
Yeah, it was, yeah, there was a moment where that could have been, at least for a second, kind of taken back in Malaysia's favor. And I think if it had been, at that point, I started to say, this is it. Everything, all kind of the luck of the gods is on the favor and the rest, but it doesn't. So we talk again about success coming through. Vietnam got still the lead, despite the really rough run of things for quite a while now. They still do have a lead, which is basically all that matters. Spark, can they convert him? A shot with the AWP. Running away now as well. Will actually get out of there. A difference there to support in his own. Nade, Molly on the corner. They posted for an easy one of their own. Simple work. Vietnam, this is much better.
Trying to save the game right at the end here. I mean, they've got to be feeling pretty frustrated at how this has gone, but it's not too late. They can get to 12 rounds, and at that point, at least they've guaranteed the overtime. Smoke up. Still plenty of time on the clock, but I mean, again, it's putting a little bit of pressure, if nothing else, on the Malaysian side. They still have a flash, which is just now there being thrown out. And I think after that, they are running a little bit low on grenades over at the B-bomb side. So that could be the way to break through here. Molotov, if it goes deep enough, it could burn out the AWP in the corner. That could be really scary. But I like this rotation. Look at it. Prodigy started to get here. He's got a Molotov of his own. Oh, this might be really good timing for the CTs.
Yeah, you're right. They're holding. How to make a little move different on the corner. Here's all of this. Util. The string through the smoke is good. Lines them up. Mows them down. Double for the AK in the hands of Prodigy. Vietnam map point on their map pick. It has been a long time, maybe long time coming. At one point, it looked like they were very much on track to lose this, but now they've got map point, and that is all that they care about. It doesn't matter about how you get there. It's just about the fact that you do. And Vietnam, for 2-round buffer, on away now from seeing off their map pick of Inferno, which is the only thing that they'll care about. Ancients, a map in which we know they've played well earlier today. So at least they'll have some confidence to go off.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where they should have been maybe 5 minutes ago, but
Yeah.
But, at least they get here at the end. That's really the only thing that matters. So 12-10 is the scoreline moving into the 23rd round. And suddenly they've run out of money. Malaysia, they don't quite have the funds to keep up the fight in a reasonable fashion. So this could be a disappointing finish to it. I guess, if nothing else, they proved that they could do a lot. And that first half was really, really rough on them. So it's not super devastating if they end up losing this Malaysia, but I believe the comeback was about to happen. It really did look that way.
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, for now, a pause and a conversation and all the rest, but decision just yet about how this one's going to be played out. In my mind, it feels like it might be, unfortunately, too late for Malaysia. They had this really good run, this streak and all the rest, and sadly, I think it is about to go. I mean, they've got a double Mach 10, a Galil with, no util, another one with a flash. I mean, you're relying quite heavily off the back of an AK-47. And the other thing is, you got your best player on the Mach 10 too. I think if I'm Malaysia, I'm kind of giving the AK over towards Shao. I mean, he's been pretty damn solid all the way through. Maybe even Gracious as well, who's not been too bad.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What did they do from here, though? Still a minute and 20 seconds. Tossing the bomb around a little bit towards second mid as they are setting up at least the one smoke there towards the arch position. So they're going to try and see if they can block out Prodigy. And then still a double setup in the A apartments. Can they break open? Trade is in. Oh, it's Prodigy right through the smoke. That is one hell of a headshot. And now the pressure is on here for Malaysia. Two players already dead on their side. And down in the pit waiting, Sora. He's sneaking out in front. He's going to get the double kill. That should be plenty enough here. I think she's got no health left to really fight with. So Vietnam, it was a great start. It was a rocky middle, but the finish is just as good. 13-10 as they pick up the first map here.
And, fundamentally, that's all that matters. When we look at it, it's all well and good that, we saw something out of Malaysia. It was better than maybe, I think, the tail end of what we saw in towards our first game, where Vietnam made that 13-8 look very comfortable. I think the big thing for me, though, yes, Vietnam had a bit of a hiccup. There was, a couple of moments which were not pretty, but they still ended up winning. So fundamentally, that's all that we really care about when we look at it. It does open the conversation a little bit more, though. You look towards Ancient. Malaysia picked into it. I'm assuming they would have seen at least the scoreline, or maybe even the tail end. I mean, their series was so quick. I have a feeling they potentially could have even seen what would have happened in at least maybe the last half of that second map if they were watching the stream and all the rest. The pick of Ancient's still a big risk for me. However, Malaysia looked a little bit more competitive in my eyes than Thailand. So I think for that reason, it still has the chance of 3 maps in my opinion. Well, let's take a look at some of these highlights anyway, as we run through what was a very, very good Inferno. But I'm still tentative about whether Vietnam have proven enough to me in this head-to-head of whether they can 2-0 again.
Yeah, I don't know, like that little slip up to at some point, like that's a question of having the experience and the sort of the determination to really close out the game. But honestly, it looked pretty good for them. So I don't know, like I think they could do it one more time, but we'll see if Malaysia are going to be feeling differently about the map. They did pick into it, so maybe they have some confidence in the map that we just don't know about. Certainly was a much closer game than I was expecting. So I still think should give some credit to Malaysia for making the comeback look as doable as they did at one point there. Highlights here. I did love the fact that we got the Max 7 highlight in. That's pretty good. Rare sight to be seeing kills with that weapon nowadays, but get the job done.
Yeah. Well, honestly, for Malaysia, if they had a little bit of a better first half, just a tad better, I'm talking like 1 or 2 more rounds, there is that potential of looking at this and saying there is maybe an overtime on the cards, but it's all easy to say in hindsight. Now we're going to look at this and say, how well can Malaysia kind of maybe mentally reset, looking towards their map pick and say, right, we've got to come in and kind of set the tone here. Vietnam, we're starting on the T side. The T side was dominant against Thailand, so I'm not too sure how they're going to change things up. But, I mean, fundamentally, this was a really decent recovery from Vietnam from at one point what looked lost. So we at least know that in terms of their mental resilience, it's pretty strong. Yeah, for sure. Gotta give them some credit there. There's no question about it here.
And like we mentioned at the start, it's the same map pool really as we had in the first game with Thailand playing Vietnam, right? We've also got Anubis as the third deciding map, if we can get there. We didn't on the first series, but see if the second series is going to be able to deliver in a different way. If you are just joining us, this is the second best of 3 in the day, so we still got more Counter-Strike coming up. Even after this one, I believe we have another best, like 3, I think, best of 1s after this one.
Yeah.
So different format, but still, more Counter-Strike to be spotted out in the day. So I think it's exciting. Yeah, any last thoughts about the first map here before we head into the second one?
A little bit more competitive, which I think is really good. But I think all in all, for me, very good to see Vietnam getting that win in the end, showcasing still just how good they are. 2 different sides who are very competitive, and Vietnam have still made it look, for the most part. So I guess that's all that really matters for me. We're going to throw this one to a break, ladies and gents. When we are back, we're going to be heading on the way in towards Ancient. We'll see you soon. Hello, welcome back. We're about on the way in towards our second map. It is Ancient coming up next. Same exact veto that we had in towards our first series today. You know how that ended. Vietnam came in towards Ancient and decimated Thailand. So the question is there a play up the sleeve here, Anders, from Malaysia to go for this map choice? It does feel a little risky.
It does, yeah. I mean, we saw how good Vietnam were on it, but at the same time, like, I don't know, at the end of that first map, it kind of makes me think, all right, there is a way that almost anything can happen here. So I'm not too displeased with it. I hope Malaysia's got some really cool stuff. I hope they had enough time to just, like, catch the tail end of that game against Thailand so that they know that probably the Vietnam squad is going to be fairly aggressive on the CT side, because that's really where, if you have that bit of information, you could do so much with it. So, yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. But I think it's going to be another close game. I imagine it's going to be, almost all the rounds once again played.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, at the very least, these two sides actually feel kind of comparable in terms of the level that they're at. Vietnam with maybe an ever so slight edge, but I mean, overall, a really, really good kind of showing where we look at Malaysia being at least a little bit more competitive than Thailand. Thailand didn't offer us consistently a huge amount, but yeah, good to see. I'm hoping that we come in towards this one and similar again, right? We don't really see that kind of one-sided showing, because Vietnam, they at times can run riot just a little bit. They're a very, very talented side, at least individually. Malaysia look good though. They had these real periods. I think, a couple of individuals who are really stepping up in a massive way as well. I think there's going to be more of a conversation here. I'm just interested to see why they've gone for the pick here, more than anything from Malaysia. Why have you risked the Ancients off the back of a very good performance by Vietnam? Is there something up their sleeve, basically?
Hopefully it's their home map where, they can roll out some of the players. More than anything, hopefully they can start out better than they did on Inferno, right? Like, they had to make that comeback because they had such a bad start. If they start better here, then no comeback is needed, and you can just kind of play on a more even keel. So we'll see how this one goes. We are already heading into Malaysia, going to be starting on the T side. Vietnam going to be starting on the CT side, and they are looking for an A crunch here.
Let's see, they're flying into the fights. Big ask, big risk, and a big find for the first quick. And as Vietnam are down to 4 in a matter of moments, and the bomb will go down 2.
Yeah, they're not really wasting any time here. I do like that. 1 kill, 1 bomb plant, and now defending into the after plant, everything is looking really smooth at the moment. I don't think they're going to be able to lose this round any longer. Prodigy on his own, but yeah, he's already getting whittled down, running out of bullets as well. Good headshots, but again, it's surely all for show here. I don't see him with a kit anywhere, and he's just solo on health. It's going to be Malaysia to pick up the pistol.
Good start. Needed as well. And I think that's the right way to approach it. When you kind of come to these sort of situations, you've got to come in towards a pistol like this. And I think you've got to set the tone and really kind of showcase Vietnam. Yes, you take him out in number 1, but we're still here to play. I mean, that is what we want to see. First on the board, quick round, aggressive as well. All the positives that we can sit here and say, okay, this is decent. Sadly, though, a little bit of a tech issue. So we'll hopefully get that one resolved in just a second and get back underway. Won't be too much of a discussion towards this next round, though. Vietnam don't really have the money to work with. But we're back underway.
That's good. I was going to say, it's always a little bit sad when you get a team that's kind of doing well, but then they have to, slow down that momentum because of things they just can't control. But, it's the nature of playing online Counter-Strike. We're all in the same boat on that one. So timeout's been cancelled and we are getting straight back into it. Like you pointed out, no real weapons being picked up here by Vietnam for obvious reasons, except the 1 HE, which is an interesting choice. We'll see if they can do some damage with it. Nothing
Well,
yet.
if they make it work here with the lesser buy, if Vietnam can get 2 kills out of this, I think they can talk about a little bit of positive because they're gonna have a buy next round regardless.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, do some damage, just try and prove a little bit here. But it's kind of almost a rush to the A bomb side for the Malaysian side. So the bomb is planted so quickly, and there's nobody really there to do anything about it. So wow, that's now we're just talking about exit kills, and they might not even get a lot of those if they realize what's going on here. All right, there's one. I was going to say they can exit somewhere else. They can just run out towards CT spawn, and they're going to be fine with it.
Ooh,
all right.
Prodigy. A shot, at the very least. I said a couple of kills. They got that P90 on the swing. I don't hate that. People will go down to the bomb here at the very least. Yeah, at least one. So only one staying alive from Malaysia. You've at least put a bit of a dampener on the economic side of things over there. So, hey, I mean, silver linings on basically a lackluster investment. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. 4 people going down from Malaysia, despite them winning the round, not the worst thing.
No, definitely not. Yeah, try and do whatever you can. But they are now in the position. They've got the the P90 there on different. So that's interesting.
I love a P90. I love it.
Yeah, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Sometimes you get a little bit more mobility out of it. It can be fun to play with too.
It's true. Yeah, I don't hate the decision to go for it. We shall see though. The corner. KJ. We'll fall down. They're just waiting for just aggro pushes here. Vietnam are kind of gifting them the fights, really. There's another. All he does is just hold down the same exact angle. Simply put, nice, easy double.
Yeah, and that probably, that I think is the way to try and do some damage to Vietnam early on. We'll see if the Vietnamese squad are going to be able to adjust and play a little bit less aggressive. But yeah, hanging out at the start of the round and just kind of waiting for them to do something does seem to be the better maneuver at the moment. So, another bomb plant happening in Malaysia. I don't see them giving up this round. Oh, a little bit of a surprise, but he wanted to swap out the guns, and he is dead behind it. So, wow.
Easy as. 3-0, Malaysia. At least compared to what we saw in the Thailand game, I can see kind of why they've picked into this. Why they've made this their map. I mean, the CISO so far is not pulling any punches. Very nice, very simple, and working. I mean, Vietnam, the way in which they approached that round was a little weird. 2 separate fights of the exact same caliber jumping up into a shelf, and they just give very easy headshots to the Glil. A rough one, a weird one, but all they're left with in this round is an M4. So he's got quite a lot into this round, and already dead. So that's the one rifle dropped.
All right, that's a little bit concerning, perhaps. The 5-7 is going to be running down Gracious, and did want to continue the battle there, but going to get cut short maybe a little bit earlier than they were expecting. Bomb picked up towards T-spawn at the moment, but the rest of the squad, they're kind of clearing out the map. So, yeah, the bomb can't really be stopped by now, and this is going to be a 4-0 lead. Wow, Malaysia said they didn't want to make another comeback happen, just play well from the start. That's pretty much what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, good work. Really nice work. Question being, is there anything for Vietnam when they go back into the investment? This next round, for the most part, I'll have a full buy bar. Obviously, KG, who doesn't have the money, sadly, but everyone else will have that investment coming through. Maybe a drop of some regard. I don't actually really think there is all that much to work with, though, sadly. So, yeah, I'm looking at this and saying, we're a 4-0 start. Maybe a slightly lackluster buy to come in next, which could already start to show where Malaysia can pull further and further away. Either way, I'm impressed with what I've seen. Final man seen off as well. So, not a lot you can really complain about at all in what has been a very simple run of things here. 4-0. And, yeah, Vietnam, I mean, honestly, they've just not given us a hell of a lot to go off here. I wouldn't mind them even taking attack pause, but actually, it will be attack pause because difference dropped on the server.
Yeah, but you're right, though. Like, it is a good time to have a bit of a conversation and say, what's going on? Like, can we slow this down? Is there a different strategy? Have they caught on to what we're doing here? Because it does kind of feel like they are being read a little bit too swiftly at the start of this one. 4-0. And Malaysia, all right. Are they realizing? Did they realize it's a timeout or not? I'm kind of, all right. I feel like now they do. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like they've tried to call it, but it didn't like go through.
Did it work? Yeah. Did they call it?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like at this stage it's Vietnam playing into that same meme that we were talking about earlier with just being fairly forward, and that can be fine at certain moments, but you have to be able to call it off. You have to be able to realize when it's no longer working and then come up with a new plan. So that's what we're waiting for, to see if they are going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it is one of those where, at the very least, when you look at Vietnam, I think now, especially that they're playing against a side who may be a little bit tougher in that of Malaysia, especially maybe we didn't see enough really from Thailand to give us any sort of confidence there. So I look at this and I say that I think the big thing for me is they're relentlessly aggressive, which sometimes against maybe a worse side is a good thing. In this instance, it's actually come back to bite them a lot because Malaysia are ready for it. They themselves are happy to play this aggro, puggy sort of style of play. It's not working. It is becoming at least a bit of a problem. We do have a tech issue, so I think we might be coming back to us at least for a little moment. For now, though, Vietnam are down to 4. Hopefully, it's only a brief one. Maybe, little CS crash. Apparently, they've been less on the new patch. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But apparently, Counter-Strike or Valve have said with the new patch or one of the basically the patch that updated Vertigo. So just the sort of IM Dallas is happening. That one apparently is significantly reduced games crashing.
Okay. That'd be a welcome addition. I feel like that's been a problem some people have been struggling with. Although, I don't know, like, I haven't had a problem yet in CS2, but I guess some people...
personally.
Yeah, maybe it's just like I guess if you have hundreds of thousands of people playing, it's some people are just going to get really unlucky, but yeah, we'll see. We'll get people back on the server and get the game back underway, but gotta say Malaysia, I mean, they're living up to the now they're living up to the expectations and not even playing in a way where any comeback is necessary. Just going to be instead in a position to take a huge lead. They're on the T side as well, so the economy on the CT side is kind of struggling. Not at all bad. Yeah, so they backed it up to the 0-4 scoreline, so that's good news. We've got that that going for us. Still a couple of teams that we haven't really seen play here for the qualifier, right? We want to see Brunei play. That's kind of the one team that we're lacking as well for the minutes. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. They're the last big unknown here for this part of the qualifier. Yeah,
it's true. It's true. We have to. Yeah, I do want to see what Brunei have got in the lock. I think I'm right in saying. Just have a look now. So I think we should be covering them. Looking at so games tomorrow is Brunei, Vietnam, and then Malaysia, Thailand. I think if I'm right in saying they're actually maybe our first game tomorrow. We'll have to see. Hopefully, we'll have a look. But yeah, but it would be cool to kind of check them out and see what Brunei look like. They didn't really have, unfortunately, too much to offer up against Malaysia. And they are currently a map down. They lost 13-3 against Thailand. So not a good showing, sadly, from them in map number 1. Map number 2, it also just ended as well, 13-4. So 13-4, 13-3. I think that does mean as well, off the back of that result, that Brunei now officially are out of contention for that one spot here.
All right, we got something to look forward to. But yeah, just waiting on the last couple of players to reconnect onto the server, and then we hopefully will be good to go. I don't know. We have a shocking lack of internet problems, so I'm not too surprised if we have a couple of them here or there. But I guess generally in the Asian region, internet is highly prioritized. So so that's something that hopefully they should be able to figure out. But still, you never know. There are a lot of distance to cover when you're playing these games across the region. So there could be a server or something that goes down as well. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we'll figure something out. In the meantime, big shout out to you guys in the chat for hanging out. I see a couple of you, cheering for different teams. That's what we like to see. Hopefully some of you are representing the region too. I think it's nice to see people, like a lot of people, if you're from Malaysia, if you're from Vietnam, you're probably going to have a lot of chances to watch players from your region, play at sort of a international level. So I think it's good fun to see that. And so show some support to those guys as well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out them for real. I mean, it is cool to see, yeah, all the sport. It's really cool. I mean, obviously, you know, especially at the moment in the sort of players break and all the rest, you know, not a lot going on. Come join us for some beautiful Counter-Strike action and all the rest. And hey, there's some pretty decent Counter-Strike on offer too as well. We've had our first game of the day was pretty competitive. This one even more so. And there's a lot to like. I think, you know, the hope is that basically all the regions start to really climb up. We start to see all of them get super competitive. And yeah, I mean, this is yeah, what we're getting right now. I mean, two sides who are very, very solid.
Yeah, field some more teams, get some more Counter-Strike up and running, keep us coming back. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still waiting for any kind of, okay, the game is back live again. So hopefully that means we're going to be jumping right into it. So I like that. Good turnaround on the time. We don't want to be spending too much time, you know, delayed, especially now that Malaysia are on a bit of a hot streak. So got to keep it going like that. Oh, here we go. We're back into it. Yes, it's Malaysia. We did reset that round. Obviously, it didn't count the one where they actually did call the timeout. So the question is, what can Vietnam do coming back into this one? They will have some rifles to play around with.
See, let's take a look and see. We're back live, which is good. But yeah, 4-0. Malaysia still flawless for them, and of course, in doing so, you know, they've been very solid. There's not really a lot you can kind of say on a negative note. They've actually made so far this map look very comfortable. Nice little angle though from KJ up on the sign there. When I play my Ancients, that's basically where I always play. You can spot shadows first, and then obviously you can sit there for a fight and fall away. It's a little bit of a hard one to kind of clear.
Yeah, it is a gimmicky one. It is a really good angle. I agree. Use it too much, maybe it's going to get red eventually. But here we go, flashing their way through. They jump right on top. All right, it's actually a really good recovery. I thought this round was basically done for, but there is a chance for a bomb plant if they are quick about it here. 2 versus 3 in the after plant. Let's see, Prodigy. He's not quite. Oh, but he does spot it. I said after plant, but now the question is, will they even get the bomb planted at all here? It's Bubble Sacks alone. He knows that there's a player inside of Donut, but he doesn't realize it's both of them there. So smoke is fading and he's going to be dead. Nice round out of the timeout there for Vietnam.
Wow. Good. Vietnam needed that. They needed to make a gun round work as early as possible. They can't allow this kind of Malaysian side to run riot maybe in the way that they were. They were very kind of comfortably making a lot of these rounds stick without too much of a conversation around it. That will change the conversation. Much better. So, for now, only a first, but it's better than nothing. At least something to work off of Vietnam. This is a map that we know they can play well. We just haven't seen it so far yet. The CT side has to stick well. Oh, but it's not a good response towards this one. The opening double go back in the way of Malaysia.
Yeah, nicely done. That's the bomb on the ground as well. So even if they're a man down, that's a bit awkward. For the T side, they have to come back into this one, and they know it as well. KG going to be taking out Gracious. He's throwing in more Molotovs, trying to slow this one down. Now he's got some backup. This is an awkward round, to say the least. Man advantage for a minute there for Malaysia, but unable to do anything with the advantage because they have to go back and pick up the bomb. Sneaking on through. Sora, that's a nice catch, and he might get caught himself, but still just leaves it in a 2 versus 2, and they know that the fight is going to be happening on top of that bomb at some point.
It's quiet though. Oh. Swing on, not a find. It felt like a decent angle, but now KJ left all alone. I mean, the low though should be doable. Looks the wrong way, and it might be a trade. It doesn't even get one. Had the opportunity to potentially get something out of it, and it's not to be. A Malaysia go, yeah, but just straight back to winning ways.
That's fairly shocking, right? Like, that's such a winnable round there for Vietnam. They had everything that they wanted. Even in the 3-on-3, I would have said, all right, still, you know, it's such a stretch for the Malaysian squad to get back into, but somehow they did anyway. And now I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be a little bit tilted behind that one. That's a hard round to lose.
Yeah, the mental state is probably starting to get at least a little bit feeble, but still a doable affair. Not impossible, but they've got to make something stick on towards this round. 1 for 1. The one rifle, getting a kill and then getting traded. Chow was brilliant in towards that first map and looks pretty solid once again here. Very easy round. And all that's left is KJ.
Yeah, what could he do? I mean, be lucky to steal a rifle and run away with it. I don't think there's much else on the card for him here. Trying to line up the deal headshot. More AKs are showing up. That's a good one, but again, no reason for them to really challenge too much. Just AKs all the way back there. So Malaysia looking to make this a 6-1 scoreline. This is so crazy. They are doing great work at the moment. And I mean, Vietnam are going to be in the same position that Malaysia were in the first map, which is that now they are the ones that have to make some kind of comeback happen. And it's proven so far to be not really that easy. And they're on the CT side once again. It's the side that they played really well earlier. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and it feels like the side where, I mean, at the most, you can kind of at least get the most leeway. I mean, CT side on towards Mount like Ancient, it's not as bad as it once was, but it still is regarded as one of the more slightly CT side maps in the pool. And yeah, I mean, in this sense, we really just haven't seen anything from Vietnam that gives us too much hope. They've been struggling. They're really not finding a lot of success. Their head-to-head duels have been dicey, to say the least, as well. That one round, I mean, Salifem was just a hiccup. Simple as that. It was no consistency out from it. Yeah, Malaysia, really simple map so far from them. Flashing the corner towards elbow, but again, nothing really behind it. Vietnam, they've got to desperately convert at least a couple of rounds. Get at the very least, in my eyes, 4. Already, that might be kind of quite rapidly whisking away from them. Not a good start, but a good response.
Yeah, you need something here. 6, we're over the halfway point of the half here, so you have to start to turn this around. If they get up to, 4 or 5 rounds in the first half here, there's still something to fight for, but I think you need something like that. Chow just sneaking on, crouching right on the KG, so he's going to be going down. Nice shot with the AWP, second kill of the round for him. And it is a 2 versus 2. Oh, a nice little, actually 2 versus 3, I'm sorry. KG was still alive back there. USP will get the job done at the end, and finally, Vietnam picking up another round. It's better late than never, and hopefully they can roll it on into something, because there's not that much money on the Malaysian side. They're sort of forcing into this round. Maybe they can stretch it out and have some kind of reasonable buy here, but still, there is a chance, I think, for Vietnam to get back on their feet right now.
Yeah, I feel like I said, for Vietnam, if they don't get at least 8, I'm going to be worried. If they do get up towards 4, may I say, if they can kind of get up to 4, yes, Malaysia would get towards 8. It's one of those where I think it's still workable if you get a pistol. Anything less than 4 for me, it doesn't feel possible. It's actually fair play that Prodigy even gets away with a kill there, but it will fall. It's a quick play. Molotov will tickle the toes a bit. It's looking actually pretty decent. Now 1 versus 3 and a tough one. Gracious gets caught onto us ramp, and it will be Vietnam. First time we've seen in this map. They go back-to-back in rounds.
Yeah, fair play. Just, this is your chance right now. Money, again, going to be super questionable on the Malaysian side. So there's a really big opening right here to do some damage. So you don't want to slow this down. You don't want to screw this up anyway. But this is, this is definitely moving in the right direction. From being a fairly unmanageable first half to being, I guess, a little bit closer now to something that can work out. 6-3 and moving it around number 10 here. Just pistols on the T side. So big opportunity at the moment here.
Something's got to work. Nice swing. For a second on, we'll find this is better. This is more like the Vietnam that we know and love from that first series. Shot though with the T-Eagles, not bad. I'll give him credit. In the Molotov though, not going to make a difference. That's also the bomb as well, so that will be the round. And yeah, a very simple low-buy round put to bed here. There's an M4 in play, which may mean something, but this is going to be Vietnam finding the 4. So by my books, I'm pretty happy of what has been, a little bit of a damper compared to how they ended map number 1, how they ended the series earlier. At least the response is good.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like we're in the territory now where it's not completely done, right? They have a chance to do something at least. It's not they're getting swiped here, so it's and still, I mean, if they get up to 6 rounds, you've got to say, I mean, a lot of the momentum that Malaysia would have had coming into the second half otherwise is kind of going to fade out if it goes that far. So remains to be seen, but I mean, they're getting kind of close right now. Even after that, the money for Malaysia, look at it. They just don't have that much to work with. That's crazy. I thought they were at least going to have somebody in this round, but they continue to struggle on the money side. That's a problem.
Swing. Oh, the Molotov. I mean, it's the one that confirms the kills. Is basically KJ who taps both of them down and they just tickle to the flames. I mean, so easily done now, isn't it? Eagle in by a mid. Nice shot by Gracious, in all fairness, but I think it's all going to be for now. Realistically, look where we are in a 2 versus 4 and a big flank, which finds one, looks for the second. Prodigy sees it off. Vietnam made this a 1-round game at the tail end of the half. What a response out from them. They looked kind of down out for the count not too long ago.
Yeah, they've managed to turn it around. This is good stuff. Proving a little bit of resilience, proving that they can make their way through some of these troubling rounds that Malaysia were throwing at them. Now going into the 12th round, last of the half here. Still got Sora in the AWP and M4s for everybody else. Nobody even showing themselves on the A side. It looks like they want to go fairly quickly towards the B bomb side here, Malaysia. They're slowed down behind the Molotov, but they've got the boost up. And let's see if they can just walk through the smoke. It's possible they can. Yeah, look at this. They're just going straight in there. It's KG hiding in the corner, getting a good spray down. Nearly the double kill. If he would have had that, he would have set up his team so nicely for the retake, but they're potentially in a little bit of trouble now. Bomb getting planted, no wallbang coming out, so advantage with Malaysia.
Yeah, Prodigy waiting. It's a tough retake. Good shot, though. Great reaction. Nade on towards long corners could do a decent amount of damage and will do an okay amount. Spam is good. Orb falls. This is now becoming much more doable. 2 versus 4 and Prodigy. That is beautiful. What a swing on towards the site. 180. Head on a swivel gets both. Vietnam tie up this game at the tail end of the half.
That's not bad, right? That was looking like an unmanageable game, but good recovery. And also Malaysia running out of cash, just unable to fund any really of the last 3 or 4 rounds there, which is pretty devastating. So that's so interesting. Good job. And Vietnam back on to try and take this 2-0 fashion. It's the second map in the best of 3, so there could be more Counter-Strike to come. But I'm a little bit surprised by what I just saw. It looked like Malaysia were just unstoppable for a while, but they kind of stumbled once and couldn't get up again.
Let's see. If the pistol round comes through, Vietnam are on a really, really decent run of things. I mean, this has been, simply put, a beautiful showing.
No question about it. And now they're on the T side, so moving towards the middle, moving towards Donut. Nice shot. Bubble Sacks not taking a second to think about that one. Jiggling back and forth. Still got Chow behind him, so the dualies up front there, not going to be needed for now. That's the bomb on the ground. My God. Surely Malaysia are going to be able to win this one.
I think you're right. Especially with this big flank coming through. It feels unlosable. Do they expect that timing play? I don't think so. Maybe. Oh, yeah, doesn't matter. Gracious gets caught regardless. This is a very easy pistol round. 1 by 1. They're just picking them apart. It's not done just yet, but the bomb down is the thing that really hurts. I don't really know if they've got it in the locker. Flash in the corner. Trying to make a little bit of a move. The flash is actually pretty good, but it actually works against KG. Different. One of his own. 35 seconds. They're desperately fighting, and now Prodigy's all alone. 1v2. Shadow spotted close left. Those are both are. Isolating them, and Prodigy again gets a double kill to close it. How? How do they keep pulling off these rounds? Prodigy, a man possessed.
That's fairly crazy. I really can't believe it. That obviously should have been an almost impossible round to win, especially with the way they got started there, but they've turned it around anyway. Wow. That's a hard, that's again the kind of round that's hard to recover from mentally, because you knew that you probably had that one, and it was such an important round. So we'll see if they're going to be able to turn it around. Still, so it's Vietnam in the lead, 7-6 at the moment. I know it says something else up top, but all eyes. Sora goes down, and Prodigy able to clean up a bunch of kills here.
It's easy. Nice and easy. Honestly, decent work coming through here from Vietnam now. Back into those their winning ways. It might have taken them a while to get going, but they're playing like the better side in the server. This has been a pretty simple run of things where, I mean, Malaysia kind of dipped off in terms of their form. And again, similar thing that we kind of spoke about this series, last series. Wouldn't mind seeing a pause, man. Just have a little conversation, have a little break.
Yeah, that we haven't seen many timeouts being used in general, which is kind of interesting. That probably could go a long, long way if you have a chance to talk things through. There's a reason they exist, but nobody wants to pull the plug on any of the game yet. So 8-6 here, 2-round lead, and a careful approach right now. They're worried about there being some CT aggression in this round.
Well, holding backside on the corner. A little labored. And gets traded immediately by Sora. KJ holding and finding. Good actually reactions to understand that the timing play could work against him. Still a 3 versus 3 though. Still far from over in this one. Gracious will answer back. KJ will fall. Bit by bit, things are looking good here. In the corner, it's a little dicey, but again, now left down to 1. Different. Gotta go huge. We'll get the first, but this next 2 aren't going to be easy.
No, definitely not. 35 seconds, and I don't know. It's a nice attempt walking through the smoke. You might as well try something. Either way, it was going to be a very, very difficult round to win. So, okay. A little bit of a turnaround, I think, in terms of winning rounds, right? It's been a minute since we've seen Malaysia pick up a round, so nice that they are able to do that finally.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, 1 round in it. It's still, a doable start to the map, which at the very least has given them some longevity in this game. Not all, though. 8-7, still Vietnam with that 1 round lead. Question being for us, can we see response come back in? Can Vietnam find that form? As they seem to always do. Got the guns out. AK across the board. A bar, different. He's only got a Tech 9. But honestly, Tech 9 sometimes running gun, it's pretty scary. I'm going to completely count out just yet. It's over towards round. A shot as well for Prodigy to find the opener.
Yeah, that'll get the job done. Chow, a little bit of a labored spray, but he'll do it anyway. It's Prodigy. He's really opening up so many of these. He's got 20 kills at the moment. Reloaders come in. Now he's just looking to see if he can find the opening. Oh, it's a team kill. Right. After they got the kill in the middle. That's not what you want to see. 57 seconds left, and they're running the bomb towards the A side of the map now. She is kind of in the area, so you don't want to be running too far, or he's going to find out.
Charlie here. Sora fall. It's not easy. Not easy. Pop flash in the corner. Back box. Think is caught and will. KG falls and all tied square. Now, it's all a piece and the conversation opens up back again. That round looks good to start. I just think Vietnam play, honestly, a little bit too slow in this instance. They had these openings. They had the opportunity to kind of just barrel on towards the B site, and they opted against it. In doing so, slowing it down, not what they want.
I kind of agree, but I mean, it's one of those really hard things in the game of Counter-Strike, right? To figure out, like, when do you want to be aggressive and go for it, and when you want to be a little bit more laid back. Nice fight in the middle. But just as good for KG on the other side to take down Gracious. So, ooh, it's Prodigy again. He really has been the star of the match so far for the Vietnamese side here. 3-3 the score were in this one. So just a couple of deaths on either side here. They will have an AK on KJ, so that's something to fight with. Oh, I say that he just got down instead. And running up to try and see if he can do anything. Prodigy is dead, and they will clean it up. So Malaysia back in the lead now. Okay. They're not going to roll over that easily.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, got to be said. I mean, honestly, decent little response here. Vietnam will come back into the buy, though. This one has to stick. That previous one, I can give them maybe the benefit of the doubt. They had a Tech 9 in play. It wasn't the fully fledged buy. This one is. They've got AKs, Galils across the board. They've got the util and all of the rest. Big thing I look towards, though, is for Vietnam. Was that just a little run of form where they're still, for the most part, Malaysia have been the slightly better side. Run boost over. Chow gonna get aggro, catching off guard. KJ and KG both get caught. Prodigy will answer back. That's a lovely double opener by the likes of Malaysia, and I think it's all going to start into place. Brilliant aggression from Malaysia.
This could be the knockout punch right here. I mean, you win this one, you're going to have a lot of money in the bank to work with. Especially if you deny the bomb plant. There's no cash really on the Vietnamese side. Different. Needed that kill immediately. Now they know where he is, and they are going to circle in on him. So only one casualty. And now the round lead's building up here, 10-8. No bomb plant happening on the T side, so they won't have the money to go for a full investment here. This is starting to get really rocky, and even worse. I mean, there's 3 AKs that have been stolen on the CT side, so pretty much you know that means that the CTs are going to be doing very well.
So, 10-8. 2 rounds ahead now, 3 rounds away. Malaysia still looking. At the very least, still looking to push us towards that third to the Anubis. Not sold on it just yet, but this round feels like it's kind of a given already. So we're talking about a 3-round buffer here. This is basically one more true full buy for Vietnam. And that'd be the difference between them staying competitive and, well, Malaysia seeing this off in towards an Anubis, in towards that third and final map. So when it comes down to it, this next gun round in towards round of 20 is kind of do or die for Vietnam. So they've definitely been made to work much more than they were in towards the game against Thailand.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it does, honestly, at this moment, feel more like Anubis is going to be the likely outcome from here. Might be a little bit too soon to call it, but it's tilting in that direction for sure. We'll see if there's anything that Vietnam can pull out of their pocket here. I mean, got some Tech 9s, so it's possible. You get one good shot to begin with. Enable, yeah, just stay out of the line of fire. Just don't go down. He was struggling quite a bit on the first map, and he's still not doing that well. He's got 4 kills here, so say just try not to be a liability. Just kind of stay alive. Don't give up any rifles or anything like that. Be a little bit of a backup player if you need to. It's Bubble Sacks coming in with a kill in the middle, and yeah, that's a huge kill because the rest of the push is coming in just from the main entrance to the B-bomb side. Absolutely shutting it down. Wow. 11-8. They are almost there.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff. Like I said, this is the make or break. I mean, Sora's going to go in towards the orb, so I don't hate that, but this is real do or die, isn't it? I look at this and say, if this one can't find success, it's, yeah, I mean, what, you're talking about Vietnam coming in with maybe Galils if you're lucky. We'll see. 11-8, though. Good work from Malaysia. There was that period, the tail end of that first half, which wasn't looking good. Now, thankfully, they've recovered well. And, I mean, the way they started is the way they're finishing right now. Brilliant opener. KJ gets called. Gracious. Nice and easy. Swing. And I think, Anders, this might be the beginning of the end.
That's what it's starting to feel like at the moment here. This is really, really overpowering. Malaysia coming out with a little bit of extra strength here. Prodigy, he's the one that answers back. He's had 23 kills. It feels like maybe too much right now is riding on Prodigy to change the outcome of this match. We'll see if he's going to be able to. They do have a 4 versus 3, so he's not completely out of the question, but usually never a good sign if you need one player to step up this much. They are starting to make their way back towards the T spawn to pick up the bomb. So they still have time. It's not a disaster yet, but it obviously sucks when you almost have the A bomb site and you sort of have to give up on actually planting the bomb and you have to go back and pick it up. That could be dangerous.
Smoke goes down. 4v3. We started well, but yeah, they're now heading over towards this empty site. And I think, honestly, despite them having a bit of money, I actually don't hate the idea about Malaysia going for a little bit of a more passive approach, playing exits, not committing to a retake, but, keeping out of AKs. Not something they can reinvest into. So, play a little bit more passively, play for exits, see if you can make it expensive, but don't commit to a retake where you have the potential of losing those AKs. That's what my idea would be here. It's kind of the more quote-unquote EU-centric way of playing. I say that, though, and they've got a couple of kills and put it into a 2 versus 2. Not out of the realms of possibility. Not yet. Xiao will get one of his own, and now it's doable. Maybe I spoke too soon on the retake. Tap on towards the bomb. Nade on the corner as well. I don't think they're going to be able to deny. That is a beautiful retake from Malaysia. Only one casualty lost in a 3v4 retake, and that's map point.
That's frustrating for Vietnam. They had that otherwise really locked down, but you're right. Great retake coming in, unexpected really, and I don't know. That kind of says something about Vietnam. Maybe they're a little bit shocked themselves because I feel like at the start of the game they would have won that round. Hasn't turned out that way. So 4 chances at the moment here to try and close it out, or maybe it could go into overtime, but this is looking really one-sided at the moment. Vietnam have disappeared from the game. At least they have some money to work with. Not that it's really going to matter. My God, the kills are coming through quickly at the start of the round here. Gracious trying to line it up, and he nearly got the double, but almost nearly got shot at the back as well. This is all-out chaos. 2 versus 2 after what, like 20 seconds of play in this round.
Safe to say, this game, even to the dying embers, still remains hectic. Enable falls. Round on Gracious, 1v2. Big clutch needed. He's going to go back over towards the A side. I feel like he's called this wrong. Yeah, they're coming towards B. So, long rotate for him. Does he want to give it a go?
Yeah.
Does he want to just keep hold of the M4? I mean, I said that last round and they ended up winning a man disadvantage retake. So, I mean, at this point, you may as well give it a go. But the Vietnam are tentative about going towards B.
I mean, yeah, at this point, anything is up for grabs still. If he could find himself in the right position, then it would have been nice. But you're right, they're way on the other side. So probably just going to take an opportunity to take a deep breath here. He's kind of running there like he wants to just kind of clutch it. But I guess they have a little bit of money in the bank. Especially Bubble Sack, he's got like 13,000. So maybe you could justify just trying to be the hero here. It would be a fine finish to the game, or at least to the map, if he was able to clutch this one. Does see the shadow of one player, so he knows that at least one of them is, but yeah, there's so much space to look for here, and already a lot of time on the clock. It shouldn't be doable. He's going to get that one, though. Moves on forward, tries to check every corner, except the one that KJ was in, unfortunately. So it's going to be another round for Vietnam, who are now fighting for overtime.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to pull off a bit of basically a completely different showing for me for Vietnam to be able to pull this in towards overtime. They just haven't offered up enough yet on Ancient, which makes me feel confident that they can, but we'll see. We're in a position where it's definitely not out of the realms of possibility. The only thing for them is that Vietnam are constantly kind of battling with their own economy, whereas Malaysia have got so much built up. No issues. 12-9. Malaysia back into the buy, into the M4s, and an opening kill for them, but a response. They don't clear coast left. Uh-oh. They haven't actually cleared main. He's lining them up, but he only gets one. Oh, no. Should have been more Prodigy trades. That was chaotic.
Oh, no question about it. It's kind of been the name of the game for a minute here, so maybe it's not too surprising, but still. Bomb planted. 3 versus 3 in the after plant, and Chow just playing with fire here. He's going to come back for more. Takedown Prodigy. And then the retake's really on now. They do have a smoke and a kit as well. So if they smoke that bomb, they might be able to do it here. Oh, KJ getting shot at the back. It's a bit awkward now. There comes the smoke on top. And now all the pressure's on different. He knows he has to get out there and try and swing for it. It's not going to be possible. They are defusing the bomb with 10 seconds. Did they not defuse with the kit? I don't think they did. Oh, no. This could be a bit of a problem. They had 2 kits and none of them found the bomb. So they actually end up losing the round anyway.
Oh, that's a bad mistake. There's no 2 ways about it. That's a pretty rookie error. You really do hate to see it. That's a weird one. It's a very weird one to lose. All in all, I mean, that round was weird. I mean, KJ, He's fighting out via main. He gets spammed twice in the back and just like doesn't turn. And you're like, come on, mate, react. Let's go. And he finally reacts and he dies. Weird round of Counter-Strike. Vietnam stay alive though. So I guess for them, that's kind of all they care about.
Yeah, they don't care about anything else.
He's back and Vietnam are up to double digits. I mean, hey, it's the same. That's ain't too bad.
That's a bit surprising. I wasn't expecting that, but you know what? I guess it was kind of close at the end anyway. So just a little slip up, a little mistake there. Not managing to communicate who has the kit, who's on it. Unfortunate time. 10-12. If it goes overtime, it's right back on again, obviously. And for Malaysia, that'd be the hardest way of all probably to lose this game, is to say, come on, we had 4 chances to close it out and somehow we didn't.
Let's see. Everyone's back in the server. Sora's bought as well, so I think we should be in a moment ready to get back underway. At a top 10 scoreline, though, this is a game that's opening up. There's still money left in reserves for Malaysia, but not enough. So realistically, lose this round here, Malaysia, and they could be in trouble. The only one who'd be able to kind of still truly buy would be Bob. I mean, everybody else is left with not a hell of a lot. So if Malaysia can't see it off here, they actually could be in trouble about this potentially going towards overtime.
Yeah, there is a way. There is a way they can still get there. The way you just, like you said, just not enough cash to keep up the fight. And I mean, that's happened before. We've seen it happen many times. Just getting everyone back on, checking everything is okay before we hit the play button once again. Oh man, they've got to be feeling the stress now, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. Hopefully getting underway in a moment. I don't think we've been given the all clear from the players, I guess. But yeah, the buys have come through. It's pretty fine over towards Vietnam. The only thing that's maybe a bit of an issue in terms of their investment is just the fact that we don't have util on Prodigy or KJ. See whether that ends up being an issue down the line. But for now, back in towards the round itself. Our penultimate round in regulation here. The question being, Malaysia, for the umpteenth time of asking, basically, can they close this out? Or are Vietnam really going to make this a possibility of going towards OT? Win this round here, and they absolutely open the door to do so.
Oh, yeah. There is a way. We'll see how close they get to it. Rushing towards the A-bomb site. They've set up all the grenades. She is right here, and we'll get a headshot just as the smoke basically lands on top of him. So that's a nice find there. It should be a little bit easier in the afterplant, assuming the bomb does go down, and they will pretty quickly. Oh, look at this. Sneak on through, shooting him in the back. And now it's a 3 versus 4. And I love the fact that he runs away. Instead of staking a fight, you know that the rest of the CTs, they're going to be worried about it basically till the end of the round. So yeah, it's a smart play to walk away from that one.
Oh, now, hang on. Now that Charles fallen, do they actually want to give this a go? I mean, 2v4, it's risky, guys, when your Econ's in a shattered state. Nade actually goes a little bit too deep. KG for 1. The quick trade will come through, but it won't make a difference as Prodigy sees it off. Vietnam now look towards pushing this towards overtime. And the way they are playing, I think it's more or less about to happen. Malaysia's buy is not going to be great. Yeah, they're coming through with M4, 3 MP9s, and you know, yeah, it's hardly going to even join them on that. So MP9s across the board and 1 M4. That is as good as it gets in terms of the investment in the final round of regulation. I think this one has slipped away in a, pretty damning fashion. Fair play to Vietnam, though. They refuse to die.
They're still hanging in there. Overtime on the card all of a sudden. Again, for Malaysia, I mean, there are a few ways that are worse than losing like this. You've got the lead. You've pretty much done it, and then you can't find a way to close it out. We'll see if they can right here. They do have a bit of a stack going on. In fact, look at the SMGs. Overpowering them. A 3-for-1 trade. Oh my God, this could have been it for Vietnam. They definitely had every chance, but they don't really check a lot. They kind of just walk onto the B-bomb side a little bit early and walk straight into a stack. Good shot for KG gets 1. I don't think it's going to be enough here. Different on his own. 1 versus 3. The bomb is not planted. He's picked it up just now, but yeah, they're going to swing for him, and that will be it. Malaysia to pick up the map just before it went into overtime.
Yeah, I'm going to push that one towards a third map now as we can basically focus in on Anubis. I mean, granted, that was much closer than it probably should have been for a large majority of it. All that matters, though, Anders, is that they take it. And now, with a third map decider, and, we get to look at that Anubis as well. I think that will really open the door. Both of these sides, haven't seen them on it yet today and what they can bring to the table, at least on the stream. I'm interested. I think for Malaysia, a very good kind of first half was really indicative of what they can actually bring to the server. We've got some highlights to bring you as well, of course, off the back of that one. But it was a pretty good game. I thought for a long period of it that Vietnam were going to be able to bring that back in, but just the final hurdle, the stack killed them.
The stack, yeah, it did, unfortunately. That's so rough. What a way to go when you've otherwise worked pretty hard there for Vietnam to try and get back into it. But on the positive side as well, it means we've got Anubis as a deciding map to really figure out who's the better team. It seems like that's still up in the air for discussion, really. I don't know. They had built the right momentum there, Vietnam, to make the comeback into overtime, but they just couldn't do it at the end.
I'm with you. I mean, for Vietnam, there was these moments, but it also makes you think as well, Vietnam just had a slightly better start. Going 6-1 down that's not good enough. I mean, if they had maybe made it kind of in the region of, I don't know, 3 or 4 in that opening sort of engagement, it was back and forth, then we're talking about them taking the map. It was just such a slow start. They were basically always playing catch up. It's not good enough. And credit to Malaysia, they just utilized the lead that they built up, that they got for free. They utilized it in their advantage, and now we look towards Anubis. Anybody's game, and all interesting one.
Yeah, it's wide open once again. And we haven't seen Anubis yet today, so we don't really know how the teams are going to be playing on it. But, I mean, I hope that both teams are going to keep some of the CT aggression. That's always a fun feature of that map if people are able to do it, although it can be, I think, kind of hard at times to make it work. But we'll see. I mean, so far they haven't really shied away from that kind of aggression, so why start now? Why just keep it up? But yeah, that's the third map. Still got more Counter-Strike coming up after that, so it's not quite done for the day. We've got some interesting best of ones that are also lingering out there, so you don't want to go anywhere. You want to stick around for those. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have a favorite team yet between these two? Do you have a strong sense of who might walk away with it on the third map?
It's tough, It's tough. I think for me, I'd probably actually still lean in favor of Vietnam. Just that tail end was actually pretty good from them, but it's a little hard to call. I think for Malaysia, they've at least showcased they've got something under their belt. The only issue that I have with Malaysia right now is that it's actually not team-wide. I think they're very reliant on individuals stepping up, which isn't always, in my eyes, at least something you can kind of rely on. So we'll see. I think for the most part, it's still a bit of a harder one to call, but I'm going to lean in favor of Vietnam. What about you?
In favor of Vietnam, yeah. I don't know. It's true, though. Like, Prodigy did do a lot of hard work. If he's having a bad game, then it could be a little bit rough. I don't know. That's such a hard question. I guess we'll have a little bit of time to think about it when we go to a break. We'll be back with the third map coming up right after this.
Welcome. How we doing? Welcome back. We're going towards our third map. We get to see a third map today, which is pretty cool. We're going towards Anubis, and it was a pretty good game, man. I think we got to see at least, first of all, a competitive one. These two sides came in towards it, and there was at least a different approach in terms of how we want to go about it. I think the big thing that we're seeing between, I guess, both of them, especially, something that we know of Vietnam, but also Malaysia kind of bringing the heat with it, is so aggressive, both on CT and T side. So happy to fight. It's kind of relentless. It's fun Counter-Strike, and I'm really going to hear all four. And we see things that we just don't see in EU as well. Me and you, we cover quite a lot of kind of, European. You primarily do a lot of that kind of, tier 1 side of things. How often do you see a 3v4 kind of disadvantage retake behind smokes, right? Things that where in EU Counter-Strike we play kind of what we call kind of the percentage style of Counter-Strike. I love it here. They play off vibes, and the vibes are good.
Yeah, and obviously what comes with that is like the possible errors you can make is suddenly you are a little bit too aggressive when you needed to slow it down. Like, it's very hard to find that balance, but that's true, I think, for a lot of teams. So I think that's been the downfall of some of these, both of Malaysia and Vietnam so far. Sometimes they get into advantageous positions, but then they fail to put the brakes on the rest of the players. But sometimes it works out really well. So it's kind of hard to judge how to feel about it. Either way, it does make for interesting Counter-Strike. and we get to see a whole new map. So about 2 minutes, I think, away from start, we should be good with the match. But yeah, big welcome to all of you if you're joining just now. It's the IESF, and this is the Asian Regional Qualifiers. So we got a lot of Counter-Strike coming up. We need to find a bunch of teams, send them to Chengdu in China later in the year, and from there, they qualify to Riyadh at the end of the year, where we got the IESF Championship coming up. And that's, you know, that's where the real fireworks begin. I think that's going to be a good time.
You ever been to China, Anders?
Been to China. I've never been to Chengdu though, but I've been to Beijing. I've been to Shanghai. I've been to Haikou, which is a little island off the mainland. So I've been around a couple of different places. I always really enjoy myself. It is such a different world to be in. Like I obviously travel around the world just like you do quite a bit. I feel like most places I don't feel are feel too different from Denmark or just Europe in general. China feels truly different in like a funny way. So I enjoy being there.
Yeah, the one word that I've heard people describe it to me is busy. Very busy.
Yeah, it's busy, and it's like, I just like things. I like it when things are different. So I like exploring new places. I just like, you know, and it's fun to do that in China. So yeah, here we go. We're into it, and we've already lost 2 players. Different, and KJ already down. It's Bubble Sacks looking to lock it here. The bomb is planted already. It's looking like almost like a lock-in round for Malaysia to begin with here.
Yeah, not a bad start. I mean, saying that, little look in. Sora still sticking around for the fight. Might get a second. He will. Nice shot. Oh, hang on a moment. I mean, not enough time, but at least individually in terms of the aim. Pretty crisp stuff from Sora. He'll kind of drag some attention over towards the site itself, but it's not going to make too much of a difference. Good start from Malaysia. Nice individual work from Sora, yes, but in the end, it doesn't really matter all too much. For Malaysia, we look at them, you know, that tail end of that second map. Yes, they won it, but it wasn't great. You know, they lost a lot of control. They were in a bit of a, you know, a dicey spot where at the very least it looked like there was a real potential about Vietnam. It looked like they were about to pull off a, you know, miraculous comeback from what was, you know, 6-1 down in the first half, and, you know, having to bring it all the way to 6 all of the halfway mark. And then, yeah, you know, there were so many instances where Vietnam were playing catch up, and it looked like they very nearly did so. So for Malaysia, I think they know that they can never really afford to take their foot off the gas.
Yeah, keep it going. Don't slow down. Chow almost running and shooting with the AK there, but able to pick up the kill nonetheless. And it looks like they're fine for the rest of this round here. Different. All right, I say that as they do actually land a couple of interesting kills. Just Prodigy with the deal. And to be fair, he's been very good with that weapon, but only the 1 kill in the rounds here so far. So it's going to be Malaysia with a second round. A couple of casualties, but not necessarily the end of the world.
Well, so 2-0 start. The full buy going to come through for Vietnam. And this is now where we get to see what they're all about. This is kind of where they do a lot of their good work. I mean, realistically, the pistols have always been a little dicey, you know, from the Vietnamese side. I mean, they haven't exactly been able to quite consistently make them stick, but their gun rounds is where they do all of their best work. The Molotov set up in towards doors and mid, and they saw allow Bubbles actually kind of just already fly his way forward. Chow again with another opening killer. This guy's been relentless all series long.
Spray down there with the Galil. Gonna swap that into the M4 right away. Yeah, he really has been. Him and Prodigy seem to be some of the competing players here that are doing great work. But yeah, I've got to say, you're not wrong. He's been doing good work. Bomb is making its way rather slowly to this side of the map. So they've had the control of the A-bomb side for quite a while, but it's only finally now that they're starting to pick it up. They will lose Shi at the start of the retake, but I don't even know if it's worth going for a retake, to be honest. Normally, European Counter-Strike, you would say definitely not.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like in this instance might be, I'm going to say a step too far, but you get a kill like that and it opens up the door into a 3 versus 3. The only issue for me is just, in this instance, no kit and no space close enough to the site. They are just playing exits. I don't hate it, in all fairness. They actually could get something on the way out here. Do they clear? Gracious. Won't. Head ripped off. Might be another as well. Tapping away. Delivering. Pistol pulled out, but not enough. But honestly, at the end, KJ, that double on the exits, they're not terrible. It's still Malaysia getting a 3-0 start. So starting exactly the way they did in towards map number 2. Now, of course, for those who maybe are just joining us, I don't know what the stakes are here. from this qualifier, we've got 4 teams. We've got Brunei, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Brunei, they're 0-2. Unfortunately, they've lost both of their games. But Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam all have a chance, though, that one spot available are going towards the IESF Asia Championships, which would be pretty damn sick. That's in Chengdu, China. But good things about Chengdu. Chengdu also has, I don't even know this, and it has the largest building in the world.
Really?
I forget its name. It's called something very cool, but it's called like the Century Building or something like that. Let me look it up. Chengdu
I know that they have
all
right. They have like a panda reservation, like a panda like whole like retreat. So like they've got a lot of stuff going on out there. I googled it a little bit. Yeah, seems like a cool place. Look forward to it. Bit of a trade here. Molotov to take a kill, but still the A bomb site's under attack. The bomb should be planted. And this is very risky right now. Oh, there could be some trouble brewing. Yeah, for Prodigy, he goes down. And now the bomb is fairly safe at the moment here. 4 versus 3. They're all locked outside of that smoke. More smokes are going down even just to slow them down. And I think they realize, yeah, Vietnam, they can't stay fighting this. So it's going to be another round here for Malaysia. This is intriguing.
Yeah, it is. I guess while we've got this little pause at the end, it's called the building I was on about. It's the New Century Global Center. Pretty cool.
Nice.
The largest building by land space.
Sounds intimidating at the same time. I was in a mall in, I think it was Shanghai once. That was like, I've never seen anything like it. It was so absurd. It was like 11 stories, and it's like each story was like just, you know, it was like it just kept on going forever. I think I literally at some point I just almost gave up walking through. I was like, this is too much. I can't be here anymore. What I like to do when I go to these places is I like to visit some of the local areas. I think that's more fun. Like I would much rather go to like a local, like a market. Sometimes in China there are like these night markets kind of out that you walk around in the evening. It's very cool. It's very fun. Obviously it's very hard to make your way through if you don't know a lot of Chinese, but you know, I think it can be done. It's fun. You haggle with people in a language you don't even speak. It's really interesting.
Google Translate is getting pretty good these days as well. Those translate apps. Some of them do it like automatically. It's pretty sick. Anyway, back to the action. KJ's fallen. Different Lancer back, and he nearly doubles it down as well. But Gracious will trade. Swing in the corner. I mean, this is very back and forth Counter-Strike. It's a 3-on-3, but the site is taken by Malaysia, and the bomb will go down.
Yeah, there was Enable. We've been criticizing him a little bit, but that was a great opening for him. Could really change the round. 3 versus 3, and trying to see if they get through the smoke here. Prodigy with a wide swing. Nobody there to return the kill either. They're just both stuck in dark at the moment. There is a kit on one player, Sora, there trying to get through, but I don't know if it's going to be quite enough here. 1 versus 1 and walking straight into it. Oh, God, that is so low health, but got the job done. Anyway, with the fuse kit, there should be enough time for it. So first round on the board here for Vietnam.
Yeah, okay, not bad. Now we can start to make a little bit of a move for Vietnam. They've got to start things well. The gun rounds, like I always say, is where they do the bulk of their best work. 4-1 is not the worst deficit to have to try and recover from. It's, you know, you'd much rather have been active on their first gun round a little earlier, but it's better than nothing. Now, and if they can Vietnam start to chain a couple in succession, that's when we start to talk. All about in play as well for KG. See if we can make that one sing, and we can. Balzac's going to get caught. But an instant response by Chow, who still remains to be one of the most, at least in terms of relentlessness, is up there. I mean, 5-4, but just a die-hard entry.
Yeah, that's what you need. Like, those entry kills are worth so much. Can't remember. I don't know if anyone's done the math. Probably somebody has, but like the correlation between entry kills and winning rounds is huge. Nicely returned here. Different and Prodigy getting a couple of kills to try and keep them in the round. And actually might have a chance at it here. It's Chow again, and it's different going down. So 2 versus 3 before we can even finish the sentence turned into 1 versus 2 here. And KJ alone and not really sure where to go. Yeah, he knows that there's a player here. KJ, yeah, he knew that Chow got a kill in this area, so he's kind of a little bit paranoid about that, but 45 seconds, and the bomb being picked up just now by Enable. This is a very, very hard round to play if you're on the Vietnamese side. Where do you go?
Let's see. Chow holding for just a freebie of a fine. He might actually get it in a second. I mean, they're making noise here, though. Crossing the corner, they've got to swing together. They don't. They allow for the isolation of fights, but thankfully, Chow will trade. 5-1. Malaysia continues to extend their lead. Honestly, in some pretty emphatic fashion. I mean, this is a map in which it's probably the only map in the pool that we can see here. Well, it is the only map in the pool that is T-sided. It has been since the introduction of Anubis, but Vietnam, they're not doing enough in my eyes to really make this T-side feel uncomfortable. This is it's a weird sort of situation. It's just not quite good enough just yet.
Prodigy with the deagle once again. That's been his signature weapon so far. Maybe he could do a little bit of damage in the middle here. They are actually pushing forward quite aggressively, so he's going to have a fight on his hands. Chow sneaking on through. Good headshot to begin with, and they've locked it down. Wow, good swing on the other side from Bubble Sacks. So, yeah, that was, I don't know, there was some damage dished out there to both the T players. They could have maybe gone down. But I feel like it's going to be another round here. Malaysia, they're powering through the start of this half here. It's going to be 6-1 in their favor.
Yeah, well, KJ, different. I mean, it's not really that much point saving, but I think just having armor is better than nothing, honestly. That'll be that. This is, it's a bit of a no-show right now. I think is the kind of the worrying thing. There's not that much of a competition, may I say, to really talk about. Very simple. It's very easy, and it is kind of concerning as well from what we've seen at the moment, where I'm just not seeing enough out of Vietnam that offers anything different. This might not be a map in which, yes, they float it, but it might actually, it might not be a map in which they're actually too comfortable actually playing. They just sort of hope they can get it done in two. Ancient, we know, is good for them. Inferno, we know, is good for them as well, but yeah, this Anubis it doesn't have the same shades as those previous two maps. It's just tough. 6-1. I mean, granted, though, they were 6-1 down in Ancient, and they did make a competition out of that. So I'm not going to completely count them out just yet, but I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, we'll stay optimistic for now, but you're right. It is cause for concern, right? It is one of the more T-sided maps, but still 6-1. You're not having, like, some of the entries here are just really hard to stop. With Chow playing well, Gracious playing pretty well, Enable, I think, having one or two entries so far as well. Oh, a little bit of a failed smoke there towards T-spawn, but we'll let that one slide for the minute. Looking to make another entry, this time towards the B-bomb site. Gonna get the one kill. Good return there from Shi. That's a double opening with another potential bomb plant to follow through really swiftly.
Molotov gonna come down as well. On the corner, but the smoke gets broken by Different's nade, and he spams through it to find a kill. Speaking of nades, that's how Different will fall to the hands of Chow. Bomb going down, and Prodigy just very quick, making sure no signs of a post plant to set up there. Vietnam gonna get their second.
That was shocking, right? They got a double opening. Sure, it's a 2-for-1 trade, but the bomb was very delayed, and by the time they even got it, it was almost too late. That was one of the very winnable rounds there for Malaysia, but they couldn't find a way to bring it home. So instead, Vietnam finally picking up another round. And again, this half is not done yet. Even if they're really far behind, they can recover this one. So a little bit scary for Malaysia if they give it up too soon here. Flashbangs, trying to run right through. Again, looking for the opening. They did it last time. They want to do it again, and running out of bullets was Sora. So 3 versus 3. That is still 100% worth it.
I agree. Prodigy holding in the corner. This time won't be able to deny. That bomb going down. Smokes is the main thing. Molotov going to try and deny. Rotations is back spotted. There was a gap, but Prodigy gets caught going through it, and a missed shot from KG should be the round. I think if you're different here, I don't hate the call to save 1v3 in a retake. It's not the easiest. He's going to give it a go. Spotted. Misses opportunity. The window's gone, and the fact that he's sticking around is questionable. Just keep out of the rifle, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. It's time to leave. Wow, they've sensed the real weakness of the speed bomb side. They realize if we just go hard and quick at it, they're not going to be ready to recover. So do you see the flashers as they're running in, kind of going over the wall and just completely disrupting that defense? That's great. That's great work for Malaysia to understand that there's a weakness and to just pound it as hard as you can. So 7-2 will be the scoreline as we move into round number 10 here. And there's not much to complain about at the moment here. Vietnam lot of trouble for them, obviously. Saving one rifle, not having a great economy, but I mean, they're able to put something together here, but it's not... They don't have the AWP. They're going to be lacking some grenades here. There's a lot still left to be wanted here.
Yeah, pretty damn good. What we've seen so far. 7 already in pretty lightning fast fashion is super solid. Vietnam, they're struggling. There's not a huge amount that we can kind of sit here and talk about in too much of a positive note. It has been rough. There's no two ways about it. They're struggling really to find any sort of a look in. Yes, it's a map which generally favors the T side, but that says a lot, doesn't it? First, not got the second though. Chow, maybe a little bit too confident. Should have confirmed his kills before, you know, counting them off. 1-for-1 trade. Different could get one of his own as well. Left eye Pete, though, is never easy because you're always going to be at a disadvantage. And a double down as Prodigy also falls too.
Yeah, and again, it's just getting those opening on the T side. It makes such a difference here. They're going to be throwing all the grenades into the bomb site. Not that they needed it. There was nobody else there, but, you know, who cares? You win the round. You've got the money. They're going to be up to 8. And another round where Vietnam not... I mean, very, very slim chances. But you're right. Those left-eye peaks are not easy. And I think normally also, they could have probably flashed their way into that fight. Like, if they really wanted to go check A main, then maybe just flash your way through and set it up like that so that you're not in too much trouble here. A little bit of an awkward fight. As Gracious, I think, was looking somewhere else. But with the MP9 on the other side, they can't even really do much here. Bubble sacks. Wow, all right. That's pretty quick.
Sora, tucking his head. Even though, I think, in my opinion, Anubis is the hardest map to save on, and he won't be able to do so. 8-2. And Vietnam, I mean, we're now getting to a point where Vietnam really aren't even doing anything in these rounds. Ah, man, that's tough. They're not scratching the surface. They're not really doing anything that gives us anything to go off. I mean, fair play to Malaysia. They're making this T-side look so simple. Already 8 in my books is fine. If they get anywhere near 9 or 10, I think it's game over before it even starts.
Yeah, I've started to feel the same way. Who's going to be the hero to change it around? KG trying, wants to push forward, but there's more people waiting on the other side. And again, you got the lead there. You got the 4 and 5. Pushing into the smoke, probably not necessary. It gives a window to get back into it here for Malaysia. 2 at B, 1 in middle, 1 at the very edge of the A bomb site there for Vietnam. So they've got a bit of a setup. And right now, Malaysia just waiting them out, seeing if they're going to rotate out of the B bomb site here.
Close. B9. Waiting though. Let's go a little quiet around it. Minute on the clock. Malaysia on in a rush. Now they pop themselves in towards this B side. Chow going to get the first. Spray through though from Sora is only good for 1 before he does 4. So bomb will go down. Numbers advantage in favor of Malaysia. Chow's low, but still should be fine.
More grenades. They've got so many smokes left in the afterplan, right? They had 2 smokes and 2 HEs after the bomb goes down. So that's super devastating when you're trying to do the retake here. Different in Prodigy. Oh, and just walking straight into the shot there. Different, very low on health on his own. I think he realizes there's probably nothing that he could do to win this round. So going to try and back on out of there. And Malaysia will get a 9th round. They are absolutely running over this game at the moment. It's very hard to say anything else. Vietnam just not able to really get their feet on the ground.
Damn. This is tough, man. I mean, already now heading towards 9, there's not a lot I can say here in terms of a positive note of where I maybe have a little hope. I think it's copium and hopium and all the rest that people like to say. This is tough. This is really tough. 9-2. There is a bye to work with into the final round of the half, which is, hey, better than nothing for Vietnam. If Malaysia lock themselves in towards double digits, though, heading in towards this second half, that's, I mean, even 9-3 feels dumb, but 10-2 surely is like that second to last nail in the coffin kind of vibe. If they're going to find a pistol, that more or less would be the final nail. Swing, different, fine, which is good. An opening kill, Vietnam, and one that goes untraded. But I say that, and Gracious will get a freebie.
Yeah, Oh, that's really rough. Again, Chow back at it again. Going to be picking up that kill. They're going to double smoke that side of the middle. And another trade. Oh, they have such a good read on what's going on here. 2 versus 2 once again with everything on the line. For Vietnam, it's about winning this round and then also winning the pistol on the second half. That's kind of the formula for getting back into it here. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. They're not sure where to go. You can see the bomb is towards T-spawn. And I think Chow is the one who's working his way through the middle of the map. So they're trying to coordinate between these two players. Like, where do we go? Where do we meet up? How do we make sure we've got an advantage? Sora and KG moving around. KG's got to be wondering, where is anyone? I've walked out of the B bomb side into the middle. I haven't seen a single player yet. That's got to be so frustrating. Wow, they're going to get a B bomb plant with nobody realizing.
Yeah, I can't believe how bad the timing is in fairness for Vietnam. The B side has been their real weakness. I mean, KG's coming back though. There is a world on timing. Molotov actually goes a little late, but KG opts to go back. So bomb goes down. Molotov will slow them down. Now 2v2 retake. This isn't the easiest one here, Anders. I mean, they've got a smoke and a flash, but KG's low.
Yeah, I think the smoke could help them block them off towards dark since both players are playing there. That could be interesting, but you're not wrong. Oh, and they throw the smoke the other way. So now it's a hell of a lot more difficult. Molotov on top there. You're right. He's very low on health. KG, you have to swing for it. You have to do something right now. The good kill. Oh, and he actually keeps on spraying. That's sick, but it's a 10-second defuse. Do they have to? I think they have the time for it. It sounds like they do. So that's really cool at the end here. That was a very hard round to win, but they managed to find a way through. So 9-3 at the end of Vietnam with a single recovery here towards the end. It's not a lot, but maybe it's enough.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see. It's better than nothing. It's not fantastic. I'm not going to sit here and say too much about them having a chance. I mean, the way I look at it right now, though, is you've got nothing to lose if you're Vietnam. I think you've got to try and change things up. You've got to try and come into sort of one of these sort of games now. You're at such a massive deficit. You cannot afford to, in my eyes, at the very least, play this as a bit of, you know, a kind of a default. You can't come into this with just a normal sort of expectations. You've got to be a little rogue. You've got to be a little bit of gambly in terms of how you're going to approach this, or else you're not going to have a chance, in my opinion. We'll see, though. 9-3. If Malaysia had a pistol, I still think it is game set.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose a little bit of hope for Vietnam as well, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt for the pistol here. If they can win the pistol round, then it could be back on again, and I think at that point, you know, we'll reconsider. But if they lose the pistol here, my God, it's going to be an uphill battle. Time is running down, and we'll see. Are we seeing any dualies on the CT side? Seems like there's always one guy who's interested in doing that. I think a little bit of a timeout here, so could be a tech issue just to solve before we start the game. Yeah, they're just waiting a bit.
Yeah. Timer is counting down, though, so I feel like we are about ready to get underway. We shall see. 9-3. I mean, I look at this now and I say, it is now or never. I mean, for Vietnam, they're not really giving us all too much. The timer is back up to 20 seconds, though. So maybe...
Yeah, it's cheating us, isn't it?
I got debated a little bit there.
All right, I'm seeing at least a kit being bought. So, yeah, some signs of life coming out here that maybe we're getting closer to the start of it. Lots of Kevlar as well. Not a lot else. So just straight up fighting with USPs and Kevlar. That's interesting. I would have assumed that there would have been a little bit more utility in play, but yeah, that's it. They're going hard at it here. Remember, Vietnam, they're going to be on the T side now. So it's Malaysia with 9 rounds. Sora, bit of an opening, hunting it down. If they get this next kill, it could be on. It's Chow on the other side, and he can't find another headshot. He's bought a little bit of time for Enable to get in there to try and hold the bomb site. But again, he's had a bit of a tough game.
Yeah, it's true. Sora's low, so still a possibility. It's a weird little fadeaway shot, but it does work. Bomb going to be planted here. Maybe a fight going to happen towards heaven in due time. On the corner, Prodigy going to find one. Answering back as he makes it 3. Prodigy, what a round. Keeping Vietnam alive. I mean, they absolutely needed a pistol. No two ways about it, but you can't complain. Prodigy, at least individually, has been pretty solid all throughout this series.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first step, right? That was the requirement to even get into the game. So you've got this far. Now you have to not drop the ball even a single time here. But, mission accomplished for now. And some good pistol shots. It's once again Prodigy stepping up with a triple at the end. They are relying on him a lot, but fair play. He's doing his job, so we'll give it to him. One flashbang. Sun enable. C-set 75 as well. They want to be a little bit proactive with it. Might be some trouble here if you're on the T side. So they're going to give up one rifle, but they should realize, okay, there's nobody at the A-bomb site. So they should be winning the round, and hopefully giving away that Galil is not such a big deal.
Gracious falls. Bomb goes down. Simple as round, all in all. This is a round which doesn't really mean all too much to Malaysia. Not much of an investment. It is what it is, but make sure you see it off cleanly, or, any sort of kills you get at the tail end as well, you absolutely take. It looks like they might want to give it a go. I don't hate the idea. You don't really have anything to lose in this. You're not investing towards armor. The weapons you've got are picked up. The only one I would say is trying to keep hold of the AK, but my God, that is a ridiculous shot with the Deagle. Oh, he's going to get another. No way. Tap on towards the bomb. He goes for another and can't see it off. My God, I thought Enable had done enough. Sadly, it won't be the case. Chow will get his kill, which is, in all fairness, pretty sick for Malaysia. They walk away with all 5 kills, but, man, Enable's, both of those shots were ridiculous. That first one in particular.
Yeah, and he was set up for the third one. You could kind of tell he knew what he was doing. I think he was showboating a little bit with the inspect, but either way, that is a round for Vietnam. Yeah, you're right. That's a sickening shot that he got there on different. This one, a little bit more straightforward, but they couldn't finish the round. Still, it's putting a lot of pressure on. Like, you win the round, but only barely. You can't really celebrate. You don't have all the weapons you want. It's a tough world to be in. And they get to keep the Galil as well on the CT side, which is not bad. Sure. I'll take that. Oh, well, a little bit of a nade blowing this one open, but no real targets on the other side. Again, Vietnam can't really slip up even once here. They just need to keep on winning all the way through, basically.
Yeah, no, exactly. There is just no room for error. It's as simple as that. However, a rough fight here in towards Hieroglyphs could be pretty important. Zach sticking around. You can't really afford to give up this position reluctantly, but I'm going to die for nothing. Molotov aptly timed, comes down. It'll force Prodigy away. At least for the moment. All the damage that's been done is chip damage. You've got a minute on the clock and no real fight and no real intentions of the bomb just yet. They're kind of maneuvering on the map with the control they've got, but Vietnam aren't committed.
50 seconds, so still got a little bit of time here to maneuver. Bringing the bomb outside of the B bomb site. Double setup inside of B, but they don't have any real nades on the CT side any longer. So if they don't win the straight up fights, they can't slow down the attack. And Prodigy, good start here. And I think this is going to crumble now. I don't see them making their way through this one. Again, this is kind of the problem when you don't have the grenades, is that you can't slow anything down, right? You're not going to be throwing a Molotov and backing on out. Okay. Chow doing a little bit of work, but still another 3 kills left. And yeah, then I don't think they're going to let him out. Well done.
Well, still a competition on the hands here. Only 3 rounds in it. It's pretty doable, in all fairness. You got to look at it now and say there's a real kind of conversation to be had, because for Vietnam, you've got Malaysia, who in this 3-round span, at the very most, have 1 full buy and 1 sort of, I guess, like half buy. There's something on the cards there. It's pretty doable. I'm a little worried. I feel like for Malaysia, from what was such a dominant first half, they've taken their foot off the gas just a little bit, and it's enough that it could be a problem to where, at the very least, we could be talking about this game getting close to being tied up. Spams. Oh, he actually gets one for the smoke. He doesn't realize. And this round's already done.
Nice. Good bit of collateral damage. Good headshots, but yeah, should be no issue. I say that, but they do lose a couple of more here. Finally clearing it all up. So, where are we at now? It's 9-7. Vietnam are clawing their way back into it. Again, it's a dreadful first half for them at a 9-3 scoreline, but now we're at 9-7. So, if they can keep this up, again, the pressure will soon, I don't think maybe yet, but pretty soon the pressure will switch and it will be on Malaysia instead to not give up the insane round lead that they had.
Yeah, I think you're right. Eesh. At the moment, I'm feeling a little worried for Malaysia. I'm sure they've got a bit of pressure on their shoulders. This buy sort of needs must. If they lose this one here, they're going to be in a troublesome spot. Nade, pretty deep. Decent damage in all fairness to KG. For Vietnam, no real worries. Good run. No form from them on this T side. Looking and playing pretty immaculately. And I'm concerned that things could be slowly starting to whisk away. Malaysia swinging towards mid. It's a good flash. They don't actually confirm the fight, though. They could have swung upon it. Opted against it. That could have been a freebie. As round that corner, full blind he was, but thankfully Gracious will get away.
Yeah, I think his lucky stars behind that one. Bit of pressure in the middle. Chow to take down KG to begin with. And finally, it's a man advantage for Malaysia, but sneaking on is Prodigy, and that's a surprise. Nasty one as he does open it up for a double. Looking for the triple. He's going to get Chow as well. He just basically won the round on his own. They're even weighing the bomb to the other side of the map right now. They might as well keep going. Wow, he snuck out of dark and nobody's watching, so he basically stood up, I think, right in the crosshairs of the AWP, and he just couldn't react in time. That's pretty sick from Prodigy.
So it could come down in a second, or... yeah, now it will. Over towards camera. I mean, it's going to be a save regardless. Vietnam, 1 round a game. Let's see. Where I'm at the moment, Malaysia... We've spoken about it a couple of times already. Fellas, I'd love to see a pause. Just call for a little bit of attack pause. Have a conversation. And hope, basically, that you can kind of try and turn it on its head. I mean, right now, it's falling apart quite rapidly in front of them, and they're not doing anything to change it. Even the way they're playing isn't changing up. Nope.
Yeah.
Round 1 and Vietnam make it 1.
I guess it's like a regional thing. Maybe tech pauses or tactical pauses here just aren't as big of a factor. But
yeah,
certainly the upside can be at least having some of those conversations, like you mentioned, just getting a chance to get everyone on the right foot here, because it is a bit rough at the moment. 9-8. Who would have thought? It looked like it was almost done with.
Yeah, absolutely. And it felt like it in the server. There really wasn't anything in terms of a competition to make this feel like it could have been anything different. Tough work. Let's try and get back in towards this one. Popping through that smoke. No, going to actually dry peek it. Nade will come in the corner. Sally wants to fight. Behind it. We'll get one. Looking for a second and delivers. As Sora also drops. Trade comes through from Prodigy. They've still got the sight in all fairness, despite the numbers not in their favor. Not a bad spot here for Vietnam.
Definitely not. Ooh, okay. Enable gets a kill. It's a weird round, this one. They don't have a kit. It's a 2 versus 4. The bomb is planted, so they might lose this round, even if they have a 2-man advantage here. Trying to see if they can find their way through Prodigy with a bit of a lineup. Could have been a sick multi-spray down. Different, not dying from getting shot in the back, and I think they needed that kill on him. I think they're out of time here. Okay, are they going to have it? Oh, maybe
close.
Just barely. That is really close, but I think they might have done enough here. Different surviving, that almost made the difference, but no, they're going to be good with it. Malaysia, after losing, what, how many, like 6 rounds in a row or something like that? Now they're back, finally winning one.
Yeah, well, the skin of their teeth, they see that one over the line. I mean, the main thing for them is just getting this round at all, just because of the wealth of a lead that they've kind of built up in that first half. But my God, to still be made to absolutely work for it. I feel like if they don't even get that kill with the Deagle in towards mid from camera, I feel like that round falls apart. So we'll see, but not at all. 10-8, Vietnam, while it's been a really decent T side, they are still behind, but KG, other ideas, nice opener.
Oh, swinging for it here is different. Going to be taking out Gracious. They lose one player on the other side of the map. It's Sora going down, so 4 versus 3 here. What are Malaysia's response? It feels like when you're a man down like this, you've got to come up with a plan to do something. Like you could go up and check middle with 2 or 3 players. You can decide to stack a bomb site. You just need some information. You need some way to get back into this. Waiting around is typically not the best idea. All right, stacking the B bomb site and actually rotating even the third player over. I like this. I actually like this. She's starting to get there. Bubble Sacks will get the 1 kill, make it a quick double, why not? And especially because it's Prodigy going down next and they've got the rotation already coming in. This seems like a great move from Malaysia.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Prodigy is the only one who at least consistently has been keeping this side alive. When he falls, it does mean these rounds feel less likely. A nice shot. Bubble Sacks will probably see it off. And yeah, Sally closes it 11-8. It took a while. You know, it took Malaysia a hot minute to get back into competition, but now that's 2 for 2 on the trot, and they're only 2 away from seeing off the map in the series. And in winning, they get ever closer to booking that 1 spot available, which is pretty huge, in all fairness. It feels like, at least from my ideas about how things are looking, I'm looking at the games tomorrow. They've got a tough one against Thailand, in all fairness. Vietnam will, he's maybe quote-unquote get kind of a guaranteed win there. If Malaysia pick up a win here, though, it could put them in a really good spot. That makes that maybe potentially even that Thailand game might not matter.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, a lot's riding on this one for sure. Ooh, nice headshot. Bubble Sacks. He's been a very good player as well. It's good to see him step it up here when it really matters. Difference going to be going down as well. So now a 5 versus 3. And again, just this way you want a deep breath. Don't risk too much, although they are going to get the kill. KG on the other side, and they will both go down. So Sora on his own, just 1 versus 5. I don't know if you can do anything here.
I think you're right. Sora, hey, not bad though, for the first, but still got a long old road past it. C4 and then try and find a place to plant. He's surely got to expect camera. Does not matter. Chelsea him off. Map and series points to Malaysia. It's been, in all fairness, a long time coming off the back of a dominant first half at 9-3. And while Vietnam did streak a little bit on the T side, they've now been figured out. And Malaysia, all they've had to do, in all honesty, is actually just kind of pump the brakes a little bit, play a little bit more passively, and wait for Vietnam to overextend. It's unfortunately just kind of part and parcel of their play style. Now, in a tough old spot. 12-8. Now or never, do or die. And just look at the buy for Vietnam.
Yeah. What do you do? I mean, you don't have a lot to work with. I will say this Prodigy's been great with the Deagle, so maybe you count on him, although the flashes are in. KG gets 1, but is traded almost immediately. 3 versus 4 here. And Prodigy was hoping he was in the smoke lurking for them to maybe take a step forward to get the headshot he was looking for, but not going to be allowed. Chow towards the A bomb site. Wide swing. That's no head armor there on Gracious. He's going to be going down, but Chow will get the 1 kill. And now, yeah, fall back. Get some teammates in here. Let him plant the bomb. Who cares? Just win this 2 versus 3.
Well, Chow. Hoping they're trying to do something. Very slow, though, on the retake. I don't know if they're hoping that the first contact that comes through camera is the one that makes the most difference. A little bit of a tick on the Molotov, but it kind of feels like they're not giving this a go, at least not yet. Now they start to come. Pop flash around the corner. Doesn't go deep enough. It won't make a difference, but either way, Malaysia are going to see it off, and that is going to be them locking in the map, the series, and taking a second win today here, which for them, honestly, the way I'm looking at things now, with it, they just got a game against Thailand tomorrow, but it might actually be enough for them to potentially even be our representative here at the Asia Championships.
Yeah, that was well played. I've got to say, I mean, that you're right. He was falling far back, Chow, but I guess he was worried that he was getting pushed or double pushed or something like that. So good communication towards the end of it. Malaysia coming up with the victory. It took all 3 maps, but it's a job well done. They had to fight really hard for it. I mean, both teams looked very well balanced. So this was really fun to catch. We knew that Vietnam were going to be pretty good coming out of a victory against Thailand, but Malaysia proving to be just a little bit better here today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look through some of these highlights as well and just see just how good of a game this was. Honestly, I mean, it started so damn well for Malaysia. I mean, they absolutely streaked away. And, you know, realistically, that was basically what was the nail in the coffin. Such a good first half for Counter-Strike. There was moments from Vietnam, but it wasn't enough to, you know, what was fundamentally C rounds on the board. But you look at it now and you say for Vietnam, it's a similar thing that we saw towards map number 2. They just started a little bit better. Maybe there could have been more of a conversation there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it was a bit of a coin toss towards the end. Even there could have been a way that Vietnam could have powered through. That comeback was starting to look pretty reasonable, but it just wasn't quite enough. I think Chow made a huge difference. Some of the entry kills that he was getting was just a little bit overpowering. So probably one of the real forces here that made a difference for Malaysia. I don't know. What kind of players were standing out to you? Was there anyone that you really enjoyed watching here?
Do you know, one person that I actually think was just quite consistent was Chow. I mean, for me, he was really, really solid over towards Malaysia. I think one guy you mentioned, Bobblezax, at the tail end especially, was really good. And then for Vietnam, I mean, there are a couple, but I think in particular, Prodigy, just very kind of self-reliant. He kind of backs himself. He's confident. I mean, this round, there we go, right? 3 kills. He's got at least the mechanics there, right? So I think both sides had their individuals, but in the end, it kind of actually felt like Malaysia just a little bit left in the tank, whereas so much for Vietnam.
Yeah, not quite enough, unfortunately, but still quite the interesting game. We're learning on the fly here. I think was Chow, it was 21 kills here towards the end of the game. He really did crack it open, so it's fun to see. It's good to get some new names that we maybe didn't know coming into today, but definitely will recognize in the future. No question about it. I don't know. I thought Vietnam had what it took to win this game. I think there was a couple of different ways they could have done it, but just wasn't quite enough. I still hope that Thailand are going to be able to make a bit of a comeback on their own. We had high expectations at the start of the day, so it'd be fun to see them also change it around and prove that they could do a little bit more. Yeah,
exactly. Honestly, I really think there's a chance. Maybe, I mean, honestly, if they are able to beat Malaysia in tomorrow's matchup, then maybe we're having a conversation about them, right? Yes, they lost their first game against Vietnam. It might come down to some sort of head-to-head or round differential. I'm not 100% sure how it ends up working out, but that game against Malaysia is very make or break. Actually, in both sides. For Malaysia, they win that, they guarantee qualifying through because they would have won all of their games. If Thailand win, it opens up the gate to it a little bit. I think if I'm right in saying it will come down to round differential. Tough one to call, but I know Malaysia's was very good off the back of their first game. They won 13-1, 13-2 against Brunei. So that always helps the round differential. Thailand did beat them, but that was 13-3, 13-4, so a little bit less. Yeah, it might be very fine margins if Thailand are to win.
Okay, yeah. Interesting. I mean, that's the format, right? You know when you start playing that the round difference there can make a big difference. Well, I think we'll try and see if we can get somebody from the Malaysian squad to join us just to say hi and see what's up. But it takes a while to get him set up. So while that's going on, I would be fun to see Brunei play. I hope we get a chance to do that at one point. Just to get a sense of what they're like and get to know some of the names there, because I still think that's really important. So I hope we get that opportunity.
Yeah, of course. Just see kind of what it means to them, right? They had a pretty good day at Counter-Strike. 2 wins, 1 easier than the other, but it'd be kind of cool to see what the vibes are, how they're feeling. I think we have the interview ready, so let's bring them in to see how they're feeling off the back of a bit of a long best of 3, but a win all the same. I'm sure it'd be kind of cool to tap into basically them, talk about how they're feeling. Fellas, hello. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome. It's good to see you all there. How are you doing? How are you feeling off the back of that one?
Bro, we're happy as hell. Holy.
Ooh, I don't think we can hear that.
One more game after this.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh no. I don't know if it's our sides. I don't know if it's your side. We'll wait. We can see you. That's the main thing. We can't hear you. So, yeah. The sign language might not help though, but I respect the effort. There we go.
Hello?
I think we can hear. Hello. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Nice.
How are you feeling? You had a good day at Counter-Strike. 2 wins today.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're so happy, guys. I mean, we're all happy.
We love to hear it. Now, tell me, what would it mean to you guys to be representing Malaysia in Chengdu on the international stage? What would it mean for you guys?
Oh, it would mean the world. I'm speechless. If I win. We still have 1 game tomorrow, but the side
How
is
are you
not
feeling
us.
about that one? Thailand, they also beat Brunei as well, but they did lose to Vietnam. So you think that one's doable?
I think so. It's like 60% maybe. I think maybe 70. Okay. I don't know. We're confident, but
we love to see it. Am I right in saying, are you guys on boot camp?
Yeah.
Nice.
For
Okay, so
1 month.
preparation. Yeah, you
Yeah.
are kind of putting a lot into this. For you guys as well, what's the prac been like coming in towards the tournament? How much time? How many weeks? How many hours? All the rest?
Every day except the weekends.
Sick. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is all in, and then of course getting towards playing. Let's say you do make it to the Asia Championships, you get to Chengdu. How are you going to feel then coming against potentially some of the best teams in Asia? You know, China are going to put up a very good team. That's guaranteed. We're going to see some other pretty decent teams, maybe Uzbekistan, that kind of thing. How's that going to feel?
Oh my god. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna cry actually.
Well, fellas, we'll leave it there. Best of luck heading in towards Thailand. I think if I'm right in saying you're very close to already qualifying, but if you beat Thailand, it is guaranteed going 3 for 3. So best of luck heading towards tomorrow, and hopefully maybe see you guys in Chengdu.
Yeah, thank you guys. Big fan also. Thank you guys. Big fan of you guys.
Take care.
Thank you guys. Nice.
That was lovely. That was lovely. Hey, man, you can see how much it means to them, and they're so close. I think I'm taking a look at numbers now. Honestly, even if Thailand beat them, I think they might actually be on round differential qualifying in, unless it goes down to head-to-head rather than round differential. Then that'll change things up a little bit. But then Thailand lost to Vietnam, Malaysia didn't, so it changes things up for me. I think realistically, it might become a bit of like a 3-way head-to-head, where then round differential is the way to go about it. So they're pretty close, is the main thing. And they are favorites in that matchup against Thailand because of how well they played today.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I love the energy. Like you can tell, it means a ton for them to qualify. So I hope they do. That's you know, it's nice to see that it means something, and that they're not just like, you know, win or lose, we don't care. Like definitely they care. So I enjoyed that. That's very cool. Good to get a catch up with the guys. And yeah, I think that means we are heading to a bit of a break here before we get into the next game. So, you know, you don't want to be going anywhere. Stay tuned, and we will be right back.